Give me just a sec. Let me get rid of Discord before it keeps making beeping noises. Hopefully I'm live. Hopefully I'm live. We're going to see. I need to turn my radio down. I need to take my cardigan off. So we get a bit more festive. To be fair, I think I've got a festive top on. Look, here we go. Okay. I have to pull my trousers up because I keep falling down. That's what happens when you lose weight. You wouldn't know about that, Eli, would you? You and your moves. I got them moves like Jagger. I get them moves like Jagger. I love when Coach J-Rob does that. The Jagger moves. Jagger moves. So let me see if I'm... Let me check if I'm live, just because I haven't been live in a while. And I just want to make sure that my video's actually out there. And that I'm actually live. I'm hoping. I'm sure someone can tell me if I'm live. I can just check quickly. I haven't live streamed in a while. So we'll see who turns up. I'm not expecting like the whores of Babylon to turn up. You know, I'm not expecting floods of people because honestly, I haven't live streamed in a while. And the last live stream I did, God, when was it? I don't know, ages ago. Am I live? I'm just gonna check, make sure I set it up right. I did set it up right. That's fine, as long as I've set it up. Yeah, I think I'm live. We'll let it play for a sec, see who turns up. I mean, knowing my luck, it's the problem I have is the let me just go to my studio, the time difference, but it's 1 o'clock. I know a lot of people aren't going to be up, but I'm not like Eli. I'm not going to do a 2-3 a.m. bloody live stream to an empty audience. I'd rather be up now and do a live stream to you people than be talking to myself. I mean, he's the most consistent YouTuber. Inconsistently late, inconsistently sprouting bullshit, but he's consistent nonetheless. And you can't blame a guy for being consistently full of shit. It's just him. But I have, as you well know, I lurk. I'm a pretty good lurker when it comes to channels. I used to always be known as the lurker. Like, if there was a live stream going, I was there, but I wasn't there. I was around, and I've always been around. So I'm one of these people that if the topic doesn't really resonate with me, I don't avoid the stream, but I don't participate. So recently, obviously, there's been a lot going on with the Eli stuff, and I have been there and I have joined in and everything. But I also have to be careful because Coach Eli has flagged my channel not once, but twice before, got me demonetized, and I lost money too. The same, not exactly the same as what happened to Tammy, but he did strike my channel before my grandchild was born, and the money that I'd raised was meant to go to my grandchild, and then it was held by YouTube because he got me demonetized. So it's not the first time that Eli has targeted somebody because he was jealous of the money they was earning. Now, Eli is a green-eyed monster. He watches money. He's a money hawk. If you go back through Eli's history, let's do a little bit of... Eli used to watch JB Gunner's money. He used to hate the amount that JB would make by restreaming him. Sometimes you would have JB Gunner making £500-600 a stream on him. £500-600. And that at the point was why JB used to use him. He was profitable. He was a money-making enterprise of conspiracies, random shit, just the weird shit he'd come out with. You could stream it and people would literally donate their left kidney for you to stream it. The kidneys would be out of lots of people. Say your own grandmother. And then obviously people like Lycan and Sarah came along, and they also started restreaming him because he was profitable. You could restream Eli and you would have Lycan with £200, £300, £400. Maybe not every stream, but he had regular donators that just wanted to piss Eli off. And it's a very easy thing to piss Eli off. Hey, the Christmas channel. So Eli's always wallet watched. He watches every amount of any money that's ever put on YouTube. So when JB Gunner was making money off of him, when Lycan Theory was making money off of him and he was getting regular donations, Sarah's had regular donations from people that just hated Eli. I've had donations for restreaming Eli. I've had some hefty donations for restreaming Eli. At one point, I got $300 in one day from one donator, and that's when Eli flagged my channel. Because he obviously didn't like the fact that people were paying me and Lycan and JB and so many other people were donating, but Eli wasn't making a penny. And even now, if you hear the conspiracies that not so silicone, nothing but silicone is Wise Night Owl, and that Wise Night Owl is funding everything. Wise Night Owl is just he putting that money out there. He's funding J-Rom. He's funding Tammy's court case. He funded the Twiggy thing where Eli was served. He paid Hannibal and Pedro $10K apparently. Apparently Wise Night Owl gave $10K to Pedro and Hannibal to target Eli. We're all on the payroll, supposedly. I've had some donations recently from a mystery donator. I don't know who they are. They're using my PayPal to donate to me. They've donated a hefty amount. I'm not going to lie, a hefty amount. I'm not sponsored today to target Eli. This is my own video. If you'd like to say that I'm being paid, Eli, and that I'm joining the bandwagon of Tammy and J-Rom and all the other people, I've been paid to target you before, so it's nothing new, Eli. I could be making money from it right now, restreaming him. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but I haven't actually restreamed Eli in ages. I haven't restreamed him. You can go through my catalogue, and I've not streamed him at all. I haven't bothered. I let J-Rom and Tammy do it because I got struck not once but twice by him in very quick succession, and I'm protecting my channel at the end of the day. I heard that's a stretch. Yeah, Wise Night Owl gave $10,000 to Hannibal and Pedro just to target him. I'd do it for $1,000. If they're giving Pedro and Hannibal $10K, I'll target Eli for $100, $1,000. I don't care. I'll target Eli for free if you'd like. Wise Night Owl actually had to cut back when he was donating, so it's pretty far out to think he's shelling out thousands to people. Yeah, 10,000. Eli would like to think that he is that popular that someone's willing to pay $10,000. Like, he was like, well, why didn't you give it to charity? Why didn't you do it to something more beneficial than trolling me? But the conspiracies are crazy. So Nothing But Silicone has donated to me in the past. Not going to lie, I've had donations from Nothing But Silicone. A lot of people have. And you know why? Here's why. Because we're likable people. Damn, I said it. Damn. We're likable people. I'm likable. I don't buy my own subs, Eli. I don't go around channels bashing people. I barely go on anyone's live panels. I don't sit there on like Hot Facts with Robert Reese and just slag people off. I don't go to other people's channels and slag people off. I never have done. If anything, if I wanted to slag somebody off, I'd slag them off on my own channel. I don't need to go to somebody else's channel. If I want my opinion heard and I'm slagging somebody off, I ain't going on to somebody else's panel, Eli. I'm going to my own panel and I'm going to slag you off to whoever wants to join. I don't need to find an audience that listens to me. I don't care how many people listens. As long as one person can hear the bullshit that you say maybe every day, eventually it'll get round. It'll get round. Just to let you know, Santa's on the payroll. Just a sec. So, sorry, it's just something behind the scenes. So, to be wallet watching to that extent, to then be so fixated on money, when apparently you live in California and apparently there's money in California, and that what was it? You had a successful 15-year entrepreneur business. Why do you care so much on how much other people earn? What is it? What is it for you then, Eli? Why do you care how much somebody earns? What do you care? What does it matter to you if someone makes $200-$300 a day? You claim, Eli, that you have money. You claim that you live in California, you have a nice job, you have a nice little enterprise going there. Why is it that you can't find, the ability to not be envious? Is that not a thing you teach as a life coach? Not to envy other people's success, not to envy other people's wives or their channel? Should you not teach people not to be envious of others? Is that not a coaching trait? You should tell people to be happy with their own self and what they have and not be jealous of others. Jealousy is a very bad thing to be. The green-eyed monster rears its ugly head and then you're obsessing. You're obsessing over how many people they have in their streams, how much money they make. It's not good. It's not good to be envious of somebody, especially when you're doing exactly the same thing. You know, being envious is not a good trait. But yeah. But you know, but obviously most streams haven't featured around Eli, maybe as much as I probably should have had. You know, everyone wants to make money, and Eli is very profitable. Very profitable. You can make hundreds a day targeting Eli if you really wanted to. If you had the time and the patience to watch, you know, the things that go on. But it's the same with YouTube. It's you know, everyone's watching everybody. Everything you say, everything you do, everything you literally put out is scrutinized. I had hoped there'd be more people here, but I guess because I'm not restreaming Eli, you know, you don't get as much. You know, just because I'm not restreaming Eli doesn't mean my content isn't still good. You know, I used to restream him all the time, and what did it actually get me? It got me struck. It got me demonetized. Do I miss restreaming Eli? No, I don't. Amazingly enough, restreaming Eli is probably the most arduous, hard 2 hours of your life that you will ever do. He is tedious. He's boring. It's the same stuff. Like even now to say, oh well, I'm not going to talk about them anymore, and then he'll go on Hot Facts with Robert Reese and he'll just blast Tammy and J-Rom and go, well, it's not on my channel, so it's perfectly fine. I mean, that's not exactly fair. to then say, well, they're talking about me, so it's basically fair game. Well, they're only talking about you because for some reason you just can't stop, Eli. It's constant. You know, everywhere you go, it's, oh, I'm being targeted, oh, I'm being harassed. And you're literally doing the same thing by going on other people's panels and saying, well, these people are targeting me, these people are harassing me, but you're still talking about them. Whatever way you want to sugarcoat it, even last night's one where, you know, you're like, well, I'm done talking about them. You were talking about Wise Now Out. You were talking about J-Rom. You were talking about Tammy again. You've literally said for 3 streams, I don't plan to talk about them anymore. I'm done. It's over. You know? What do they expect? Do you expect them to sit there in silence as you berate them and make these wild and stupid accusations at them and just sit there? I mean, who does that? I mean, you got a lawsuit pending, Eli. You ever heard of the best thing when you have a lawsuit pending is to say nothing? The worst you can do when you have a lawsuit pending is come on YouTube and just run your mouth, because at some point in the 3-month period up until your trial, you're guaranteed to say something wrong. Maybe not on purpose, maybe not deliberate, but you are guaranteed to say something. It's how it happens. If you put yourself out there and you want to run your mouth, at some point you do end up saying the wrong thing. Whether you were triggered, pushed, made to by instigated drama, or you were pushed because, you know, they caught you at a low point, and Jesus Christ, the excuses he comes up with, you know, I'm not triggered, I'm passionate. I didn't say it deliberately, I was pushed. You are a fully grown 49-year-old man. Fully grown 49-year-old, educated, apparently a professional businessman with many years of successful business, many successful relationships, money, a good standing where you are, but you still manage to just fall short, don't you, Eli? You're falling short. Short of what? Probably your height, because you're meant to be like 5'6", 5'7", push 5'8", although you claim you're like 5'10" or 11. You need a tape measure there, Eli. We've seen you on camera, you know. We know how tall you are. Aside from that, you know, how long do you wallet watch for? For someone who claims they have money, a successful business, other ventures, too much money not to need to do DoorDash, you know, how long do you wallet watch for? Because the more you wallet watch, the more jealous you come off as. You know, jealous, targeted. You're not targeted. You're hated. You're despised. Targeted. I don't know if it's a targeted attack, Eli. I think that would be a stretch to say that we just aimlessly target you and that we're being paid to harass you and target you. It seems a bit too on the nose. It's a good excuse to say that we're being paid to target you. If someone wants to pay me but It's Christmas, Eli, and you think that wallet watching wouldn't be on your like top of the list, but once again, green-eyed monster is rearing its ugly head. The question you have to ask yourself is, if Nothing But Silicone had donated that money, what business is it of yours? What does them donating money to them really bear on you? You claim you're the last man standing, no one can take you down. So where's your problem? Where's your issue? If you're the last man standing and that no one can take you down and blah blah blah, then why wouldn't you just walk away with your head held high and just let them get on with it? The only reason you'd be wallet watching to that extent is if you really didn't have money, Eli, and you were jealous, the same as you were with maybe that was just how you were brought up, to be envious of others, or were you brought up to shove it in people's faces that you had money and you want them to be jealous of you? Because while supposedly these other people are getting money and donations and all of that good stuff, you still apparently have a fancy estate, but apparently have no money still. But you have a successful business, and you bought, what was it, a £300 Hoover recently? You obviously got money to burn. And also commenting on about what people spend their money on. If they want to donate £10,000 to, hey, Grotesque, if they want to donate £10,000 to somebody, why would it be any of your business? But how you doing, Subhuman? You're studying. Well, that's nice. GLM said you were spending a lot of money and she posted your video in her community, so I saw you were live. Yeah, GLM's been saying stuff and I'm just not interested in what GLM has to say. Spending a lot of money. the definition of a lot of money, and she posted your video in her community. Let her. I don't care. I'm currently eating from a food bank, and I bought a few things when I was on holiday like 3 months ago. I mean, I'm not interested in talking about GLM. I banned her from my channel because I'm just not interested. People that sit there and wallet watch, they're just, it's just sad. I wasn't spending a lot of money. I went on holiday. I bought a few bits. I got into financial difficulties. I cut my work hours because my nan is dying. And I was in a car accident on Friday. So I've had to cut my hours. I can't work as much. And I fell into a bit of money trouble. I'm having to go to a food bank. So sue me. I had a bad run of luck. Okay? We all have it. But thank you to 5 people watching. I've had a lot of money troubles in the past. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I was having money issues. You know, at the end of the day, we're all human. My nan is dying from really invasive dementia, and she has been given the prognosis that she won't last until after Christmas. So I cut my work hours, but that was a stream that I did a while ago explaining that, and I don't want to go into that anymore. I made my feelings known. Yeah, I made my feelings known on that. I don't wish to dwell. I've had a bad run of luck, but I mean, on last Friday, I was in a car accident. And I hurt my back, and I've had to cut my work hours, but I am slowly getting my work hours back over the coming weeks, or I'm going to at least try to. The update on my nan is that she's not doing good. She hasn't gotten any worse currently, but hopefully, the prognosis currently is that she hasn't got worse. So there's always that you know, things haven't progressed to the next level. But hey Raven, hope things are looking up for you. They're trying to. If you didn't know and you hadn't watched any of my recent content, I was in a car accident this Friday just gone, last week, not this Friday, but last Friday. I was in a car accident and I hurt my back, but as you can see, I'm starting to bend. It niggles, and my muscles are still fairly locked, but you know, things can only improve. I also had an anonymous donator donate a donation to buy myself a Christmas present. If you saw in previous streams, the money that was donated to me was going to help buy food and presents for my family, so that I had something to give my family. But this morning I received an anonymous donator who gave me a sum of money and told me to buy myself something just for me, nobody else, not to spend it on food, not to spend it on presents for the family. It was to be a present to celebrate Raven, which I don't very often do. I don't very often celebrate necessarily myself. Probably should do. But someone sent a donation this morning saying that Raven should buy herself something. Christmas isn't just about my family, it's also about me. So if the person is watching who donated, I want to thank you, and I will buy myself something. I just don't know what. It was explicitly told not to spend it on my family and not to spend it on food. I was to go out and buy myself maybe a new top, maybe a pair of trainers. I don't know. They said something for myself. So I don't know yet what we're going to spend it on. But I have to not spend it on food or the family, which feels a bit strange, because my first instinct is to be like, oh, we'll buy the grandchild something. We'll do this. We'll do that. You know. But how are you, sevens? How is everybody doing? We were looking at today that the behavior of Coach Eli is kind of funny. I am dressed for Christmas. I got my Coca-Cola truck on. But the behavior of some people at the minute, you know, I suppose you could consider it childish. I guess you consider it childish, or yeah, I'm just making sure my stream's gone out. Let me just take Discord off because it interferes with my stream. I can have Discord on my phone. But yeah, we were talking about the wild accusation that the wild accusation that Nothing But Silicone is Wise Night Owl, and Wise Night Owl is going around donating large sums of money to people to target Eli. Another conspiracy has arrived. Eli's really mad at Tammy and J-Rob. He is. Tammy's YouTube channel got nuked by Eli. Yes, unfortunately, Grotesque. Tammy did lose her channel. She may have lost the channel, but she didn't lose the fight. The fight is still ongoing. The fight with Eli is not stopping. And Eli's pleas of, well, look, you could just stop this lawsuit. You could be the bigger person. You don't have to do this. You're being paid to sue me. You know, this could all go away if you just drop the lawsuit. It's not about the lawsuit. At the end of the day, it's about the fact that they were raising money for domestic violence victims, and you struck the channel. Again, this had something to do with money. You struck my channel when I was earning money. You used to strike JB's channel when he made money on you. You did the same with Lycan. It's just you again being jealous that people were giving donations. Now, my donations went to my grandchild, and you struck my channel then, and they were withheld. Tammy's lost that money entirely. And it wasn't going to Tammy, it was going to domestic violence victims, which is even worse. If I was self-promoting and making money myself and it got struck and everything else, fine. But this was raising money for charity. She was donating it because domestic violence is a really bad thing, Eli, you know. And it may have seemed funny at the time to be doing a stream like that, but that's what we were doing. And the one thing that you've always told us is if you don't like the person, don't watch them. You wouldn't have known Tammy was making all that money for domestic violence victims if you weren't watching the channel. And I know what you're going to say. People were sending me emails because they care about... No one cares about you, Eli. No one's fucking emailing you. If they are, then they have more time on their hands than anyone I know. Because we stream randomly. I mean, no one knew I was streaming today. Nobody. Raven, I feel bad for everyone involved. Well, yeah. It's a really shitty situation at the minute. I think I was not nice to Eli to accept Tammy's hand in friendship before she invited him to her channel, and he rejected her. Yeah, he rejected her for many reasons. The most reason being is that she was a part of our side, and that anybody that isn't up Eli's ass is not worth his time. Unless you're bringing something to the table for him, basically a bow down to Eli fucking scenario, then he's not interested. Because back in the day, obviously, you know, me and J-Rom and a few other people were part of his mod crew. We were part of his channel. I was trolling the fuck out of him mainly. I've been banned 4 times. I mean, and he was the same back then. He's just an unlikable person. And if you're not really up his ass, like, yes, sir, no, sir, whatever you say, Eli, you're wonderful, Eli, your videos are wonderful, you're no good to him. You've literally got to be kissing his ass, which no one's going to do. And the only reason he decided not to do Tammy's interview is because it wouldn't go his way. He didn't have creative control. He couldn't choose the questions. He couldn't ban all the trolls in the chat. He couldn't have a mod wrench. He couldn't have full control, which is what Eli needs. In any situation, Eli needs full control. He needs a mod wrench. He needs control of who's in the chat, control of what they say. A bit like Hot Facts with Robert Reese's channel. On that channel, Eli is free to be the most cantankerous git ever because Robert just bows down to him and will be like, yes, Eli, absolutely. Let's ban them trolls. Let's not give them an opinion. Let's not have a platform where people can just talk, you know. So then you do it, and then what happens? You get 3 people in the chat, mostly Hot Facts with Robert. I'll just call him Reese's mod crew. Where's Eli's people? Anyone notice that? Or is it just me? Where's Eli's people? When he goes to Hot Facts' channel, where's all Eli's supporters? Where are they? Where's Lewis Fuller? Where's Mama Goonie when Eli's going live over there? Where's his own girlfriend when he's live at Reese's? You ever seen his girlfriend over there watching Hot Facts? Where's Will? Where's any of them? Apart from AC Prod, who... I don't know who AC Prod is, but you need some therapy, my friend. Where's all Eli's supporters when Hot Facts goes live? And Eli's like, yeah, all my supporters are here. And everyone else is just trolling. There's no one there for you, Eli. Nobody there. I wonder if AC Prod was Dana Kane. Yeah? Had a feeling it might be, because she'd only be the craziest person to fucking donate to him. She'd have to be crazy to fucking donate to him. She'd be the only one I know off her rocker to. It's possible. I've had feelings it was Dana. But even so, Eli wastes quite a lot of time on Hot Facts' channel. But what does he actually get out of it? Ask yourself that question. What does Hot Facts, what does Eli make from being on Hot Facts' channel? What does he make? He's not getting donations. He's not getting the views. He's not getting the live stream revenue. What does he make from being over? Because it's not new people. Because there are no people in his chat. That chat is a dead-end chat. Because no one can fucking talk. Literally, no one can talk in his chat. Because the minute you put something in there, it's, oh, you're trolling. And you can't ask questions because they have to be about the topic. I've never seen such a poorly organized, poorly run, poorly constructed channel in my life. To not let your chat have freedom of speech, to voice opinions, voice concerns, ask questions, you're literally cutting the head off the snake. You know, what is your channel if you can't talk in the chat? What is your live stream if you can't talk in the chat? What is the point of it? If you can't sit there and talk about something and it's just got to be on that topic, you are cutting your audience down to those two specific people that may have experienced that one particular thing. Do you see what I mean? So I do get that some people do like specific topics, you know, like if you're a DoorDasher, you'll do a specific DoorDash thing, you know, like, you know, is it financially viable to take orders under $3 a mile? But you're talking to a DoorDash community. So, you know, a DoorDash community are going to know about that topic. The problem you have with Reese is he talks about random topics that have nothing to do per se with Eli. Eli's not in the gig economy. He's just not. He's not working it and probably will never work it again. Today's topic is foster kids. Eli doesn't have children. Eli doesn't have his own children. And they're wallet watching again. The whole having foster kids, do they have them because they want them, or is it all about the money? Why is every topic that Eli ever discusses has to do with money? For someone that has money, supposedly, he's quite obsessed with talking about money. You know, this guy's meant to have, like, I wouldn't say a lot of money. He claims he comes from a wealthy background. But every topic he talks about is money. And most people would say the only reason you talk about money is because you're jealous of money. You know, the fact that you want to talk about foster kids when you don't actually have any is kind of like talking about having a successful business, which you've never had, Eli. Isn't it? How can you talk on about foster kids when you don't have any? I have children. I have 3. If someone wanted to do a live stream talking about the struggles of bringing up children, the struggles of having teenagers, the struggles of being a kid, being brought up as a millennial, which I obviously was. I'm a millennial child. That kind of thing, you'd have you'd have a reason to talk about it, because I have children. I could talk about teenagers. I could talk about, you know, the upbringing of kids through the millennial years and stuff like that. But Eli doesn't have children. To talk about foster kids and to talk about whether it's, you know, they do it for the money. How sick do you have to be to think that people foster kids for money? That is some sick shit. it infuriates me because I have my own kids and I know the struggle of not being able to have kids. I have family members that can't have children, and their only way of having a child would be adoption, fostering, that kind of thing. And to think that they would then only adopt or foster a child because they got money, it's a terrible thing. No one with a decent humanity would foster a child or adopt a child solely for the purpose of money. Because not having kids, Eli, you do not understand just how much time, money, effort, and how much of your life you give up for a child. You are literally, I wouldn't say a slave to them for 18 years, but I would say you are there morning, noon, and night. Your kids want something to eat, you're making it. They need new shoes, you're finding the money for it. Having foster kids and adopting children when they're not your own, or fostering kids maybe within the family, can still be hard. I know a lovely family that adopted two kids, and they are the sweetest, most adorable kids ever. There's no way I would assume that family had adopted them for money, because that's just sad. Well, I think there are some deep cultural, economic and spiritual difference between Eli and the people in the South, whom he does not like. Eli does not like Southern people. He does think lower of Southern people, what with him being, so posh, refined, made money, or whatever he calls himself. He does have a dislike to like everybody else, basically the whole of America. If you don't live in California, he doesn't really give two shits about you. I think that's probably what Tammy's picked up on, and that set her off. Yeah, the topic's very strategic. It's a very targeted topic. For someone who claimed, when I watched his stream last night, I watched it this morning because I have to watch Eli in the mornings because it's too boring at night. To say that he was not going to talk about Tammy or J-Rom or any of that stuff anymore. He was moving on, blah, 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 blah. And then to have a topic about foster kids. Eli's poking the proverbial bear. This is poking. And this is poking with intent. Because Eli doesn't know about Tammy. He doesn't know about her struggles. He doesn't know what it's like to bring up a child. He doesn't know what it's like to bring up a child in any situation, whether it's, biological, fostering, or adoption. Now, he is going to use I'm guessing he's going to use the story of, Dana had kids, and, he looked after Dana's two children, but they weren't babies. They were like older children. And you didn't really have to do anything for them. They were like at an age where they were not self-sufficient, but you didn't need to dedicate every minute of every day to them. But if you've never had a child before, I don't know how you can do a topic on children. I just don't know how you can do it. What possible insight could Eli have to not only children, but foster children? And why the topic of whether foster children are fostered because of money? Why not ask the question of, are foster children fostered because it's the best thing for them? Are they fostered into good families? Do foster children have a better upbringing than a biological family? Why has it got to be the money topic? That kind of grates on me, that they could have talked about anything with foster children. Are foster children brought up better than biological children? Are foster children, do they struggle more in social surroundings? But he's gone straight for the neck, straight for the jugular, and gone, oh, well, we have to talk about the money. Why do you have to talk about the money? Why is that about the money? Why can't you use the foster topic? But why have you got to go in with, oh, they just foster them for money? Once again, It is another topic by Eli, obsessed with money. Just another money topic. Every day of every hour, every time he talks, it's money. This, like last night, nothing but silicone, talking about the donations. Pedro talking about donations, talking about how much Tammy and all that are being paid, talking about how much Twiggy was being paid. Money, money, money. And this topic again is a renowned another way to talk about money. But you don't have kids, Eli. If you had children, had fostered, had adopted, or even had a child of your own, you would have some kind of say. But you just don't. It's a dead-end topic for Eli because he's just going to jump in and go, well, of course they're after the money. Why would you foster a child if you didn't want the money? Because the only reason you'd foster kids nowadays in this economy is because of how much money you make from them. It's not because you care about a child or because you can't have children, or maybe a loved one died and you thought that fostering them would give them the better upbringing. No, it has to be the almighty dollar. The almighty dollar is the only reason in this day and age people would take children. How sad is that? In fact, it is probably the one reason not to take a child in this day and age, because you have any idea how fucking expensive it is to have a child? In any day and age. I'm talking about any time. Not just now, but you take 50 years ago. It still wasn't cheap to have a child. It's never been cheap to have a child. Money had to be made, and parents will jump through fire, through hoops, swim in shark-infested waters to afford to pay for their children. The rule is, and here is the rule that I've always set for myself, if you can't afford to have a child, you necessarily shouldn't have one. Now, everybody has their ups and downs and their financial blips and everything like that. But if you start out with the goal that if I foster a child, I'll get some money. What about the rest of it? What about the sleepless nights, the constant tantrums? As they get older, they need reassurance, they need help. You have to literally be there for them 24/7, possibly for 18 years. Now, that's a lot to sacrifice for the almighty dollar if your heart and soul just really isn't in it. Now, not everybody can adopt a child. You do have limitations on fostering a child. Generally, when you foster a child, they are generally fostered within the same family where possible. Not necessarily, if someone does need a child fostering, they will try and keep it within the family circle or extended family. And in extreme cases where that cannot happen, or you do not have family members that can foster, they then look to go to a foster family, which is non-contacted to yours. But again, even people that foster kids, say for 3 or 4 months or 6 months while they go to find a long-term home, to dedicate your time and energy to that kind of thing, you have to want that child. You have to have a valid interest in the child's well-being and everything else, because at the end of the day, you wouldn't dedicate that much of your time and your life if it was just about money. Because money won't get you through the sleepless nights. No amount of money can pay for sleep deprivation. No amount of money can pay for the struggle that the child goes through when it's fostered. Either they lose a parent or they lose a grandparent, depending on who they're fostered by. The emotional trauma a child goes through who's fostered, no amount of money will ease that, because you have to deal with that day in, day out. Anyone that fosters a child for money has very low values. They think very little of that child. And at the end of the day, they have a very strict regime when it comes to fostering kids or adoptions and stuff like that. And you jump through hoops to get an adoption. There is so much red tape and paperwork and stuff you go through. You have to be really dedicated to that child's well-being and their welfare, and an invested interest in how that child's life will progress. So at the end of the day, if Eli wants to do this live stream and just say, well, foster parents, of course they just want the money. It's not like that. It just isn't. That's a very narrow-minded view. And you can see how this hot facts thing with Eli is going to go. They're literally going to say, well, of course they want the money. Why else would you foster a child if it wasn't for money? I mean, what else do you get from it? Well, you get the fact that you help this tiny person into a gentleman or a lady. You get the fact that you helped them become the person they are, that you were a good influence, that you were there when they needed you. There are so many good points to fostering a child. And the money when fostering a child is usually a bonus. It's a help, yes, because in this economy, sometimes every little helps. I know it's a very well-used term, but it is true that having that extra bit of money coming in can help. But it's not necessarily the reason people foster children. You really have to want to put your life into this child if you plan on fostering, because it's a tiring job. It's a tiring job being a biological parent. But when you're fostering, there's that added extra level of difficulty, especially if your situation was, say you were a husband and wife and you had 2 kids, okay? There was a car accident. Both the husband and wife died, okay? And the 2 kids were left, okay? And then those 2 kids were then fostered by, say, the girl's sister, okay? So they then walk into this situation where, although they know the sister and they know the sister's children, it's still uncomfortable because they've lost their parents, they're confused, they're lonely, and even though they're then fostered by a family member, it doesn't stop the trauma that they've lost their parents. It doesn't make it any easier every day to live through that. And then you've got the struggles then of knowing that you've lost your mum and dad and that you're then with your other siblings, but it doesn't ease the pain. No amount of money can ease that kind of pain. And you can tell where Eli's going with this stream. And shame on you, Eli, for doing a topic like this. I bring shame on you for this. I think you're a despicable human being. And people like you just... I'm quite glad that you never had kids, Eli. To bring this kind of despicable behavior, and you say about other people on YouTube about their behavior and how they act and how it reflects on their children and how they're terrible parents and blah, blah, blah. Just imagine if you'd have had a child and they'd have seen the shit that you've done on YouTube. Trying to hire a hitman, Eli. Trying to flag people's channels. Trying to sue everybody within a 10-mile radius of your YouTube channel, huh? Constantly berating people, judging them, scrutinizing them, criticizing them. How would a child feel if they had you as a parent? They would be the most embarrassed child probably in the whole of America. You'd probably be on Dr. Phil for having the most embarrassing parent in the history of the world. You'd be a Dr. Phil case, 100%. Why is my parent so embarrassing? So I can see where Eli's going to take this stream, and I think it's in poor taste. I think if Eli had any morals and any values, he'd pull out or change the topic. But we've already been through this before. Eli has no morals, no values, no ethics, nothing. And for him to do a targeted attack like this, which it is, this is a targeted attack. They're going to say it's a broad topic. It's not directed at anybody in particular, but we're all not stupid. I'm not going to mention the person that I believe this is targeting because they will already know by the Hot Faxes stream. But it's sad to think that for somebody to say, oh, I'm not going to talk about them anymore, this is the angle you're going. You know you do have a lawsuit pending, right, Eli? Do you think this is helping your case? I would say no, personally. I personally would pull out of the streaming life if you have any kind of ethics. Good morning, J-Rom. I slept in a bit. Oh, well, you know, you're retired. You can sleep in now. You don't have to be up at 3, 4 in the morning. You know, you can find out what it's like to get up at 9 o'clock in the morning and be like the rest of us. Although I've been up since 7, so. But I just thought I would come on here and just state, you know, Eli's hypocritical behavior, you know, like nothing but silicone, being Wise Night Owl and donating to everybody to attack him and just wallet watching again. And we went through the history of how Eli has wallet watched everybody, whether it's JB, whether it's Lycan, myself. I've had massive donations before. I've actually been paid to troll Eli. And I've said this, I've confessed to this numerous times. I was paid to troll Eli multiple times. Not recently, but over the years, I've had some donations to go, can you restream Eli and troll him on this topic? I've had that. I'm not going to lie. I've had it from a couple of people to target Eli on a particular topic and go for him. And I took the money, because why wouldn't I? Eli will target us for free. I do like to be paid when I target Eli. Like I said, this isn't a targeted attack today. I haven't been paid today. But I do feel that believing that Pedro and Hannibal were paid $10K to get him on an interview and to just troll him, and that Tammy and J-Rom are on the payroll, and anybody that restreams him is on the payroll. It's a stretch. It's a stretch to think that somebody would go to that lengths to hate Eli. But then you flip it over, and he's now doing a live stream with Hot Facts with Robert Reeds on foster kids who are fostered, whether they're fostered just for money. And once again, it's another topic, as we discussed about 10, 15 minutes ago. It's another topic talking about money. You know, he's so obsessed with how much money people have, what they do with their money, what they spend it on. I mean, he bought, what was it, a £300 carpet cleaner, hoovery-doovery. Did anyone make a comment on him wasting £300? You know how you could have saved £300, Eli? Put the fucking dog outside. Stop being lazy, walk the fucking dogs, and they wouldn't shit and piss indoors. I'm sorry, but if my cat pisses in the house, he getting a whoop-assing, all right? And he's a cat, and he can tell me when he wants to go outside. A dog, you can train a dog to tell you when it wants to go out. There are ways of training it. Even a teeny dog, you know. I hope Eli and Robert have a great day. I'll be watching the last 3 Harry Potter movies with the kids today. Good for you, J-Ron. Yeah, Eli can run his mouth every day. We don't necessarily have to watch it. I think it's a very targeted stream. It's a low blow for Eli. because he did say before that the one thing you don't target is people's children. And I think this stream kind of hits below the belt. I think his stream hits below the belt. I think saying that when you target somebody, whether it's a YouTuber or whatever, you can target them, but when you start targeting their family and their kids and talking about that, that's crossing the proverbial invisible line. And I think this topic that Eli knows nothing about because he doesn't have children, what could he possibly bring to the table? He's never fostered a child. He's never had a biological child of his own. You know, he's going to use the fact that, well, Dana had kids and, you know, I was around them, but they weren't young children. They were literally self-sufficient children. He wasn't there making their Cocoa Pops every morning or wiping their ass every day. And like I said earlier, the mental struggle of a child who's fostered, it's not always about the money. It has to be more about the child than the money, because you wouldn't do that. You know, the time, the effort that you put into that child, if you didn't really care about that child, you wouldn't foster a child. Good morning. Do I really know who I'm? Greetings. Good morning. How are you? I did send a message to you earlier. I don't know if you got it. But I sent a message to you behind the scenes elsewhere to say something to you behind the scenes, or you would have seen it at the beginning of the stream. I don't know how long you've been lurking. But talking on a topic where you don't have kids, you've never fostered kids, and just because you were around somebody else's kids, so what's Eli going to claim? That because he hung around Dana's kids, he technically fostered them, and that he knows what it's like, and that there's no way he would have fostered Dana's kids if it was just based on money, and that he's so fucking above everybody else. But yeah, Eli's doing a diabolical stream with Hot Facts with Robert Reese about whether fostering kids, they are fostered, you know, because people care, or they're fostered for money. So it's another money topic for Eli. It's another day, another fucking dollar, another wallet watching topic. You know, the nothing but silicone stuff last night. It's fucking ridiculous. Who's going to pay 10 grand to troll fucking Eli? I mean, there are some crazy people out there, don't get me wrong. And some people do have money to burn. But 10 grand to troll Eli? We're not going to lie. There are people on this platform that have been paid to troll Eli. You live stream and someone gives you a donation while you're restreaming Eli or doing a topic on Eli. They're technically helping you to troll Eli, and it's paid. But to say that somebody would go out of their way to donate £10,000 just to target Eli, and that we're all on the payroll, J-Rom's on the payroll, Tammy's on the payroll. What happens if I restream Eli tomorrow? Am I on the payroll? Are we all on the payroll and we just don't know about it? What about the people in the chat? Are they paid to come in there to say nasty things about Eli? Are we all just part of this payroll? Even Santa Claus was in here earlier, and apparently he's on the payroll too. I mean, how far do you want to go, Eli? Every time someone puts a nasty comment in the chat, or a nasty comment in a restream, or a nasty comment in Hot Facts, are they all on the payroll? Everyone that comes into Hot Facts' channel and puts a nasty comment in the chat, are they all payrolled? Do we pay every single one of them? Is there a pool of money and people go around and go, oh, they said something horrible about this person. There's $5. You think we do that or something? Robert is trying to emulate Pedro and Hannibal, but Robert is trying to emulate Hannibal and Pedro, but Robert and Eli are too ignorant to pull off a thoughtful discussion on a general topic. How are they going to talk for an hour on this topic? Eli's never had kids. I'm going to be honest, some people just do fostering. There are them people out there. The foster pays $300 to $700 a month per kid. So yes, some people do it for the money. There are those select few people who would foster children, but like that. But this topic is a generated. This is a targeted attack. Whether Eli wants to admit it or not, this is to highlight one person and one person only. And it's kind of sad that Eli would stoop to that level. And I know we should all be like, well, this is just Eli. This is just Eli. But it's different. When you're targeting someone's family and kids, you cross a line. We've never crossed that line. On our channels, we've always said family and kids off the table. Absolutely not. But to do a live stream like this, it's purely targeted. Whether Hot Facts wants to admit it or whether Eli wants to admit it, it's a targeted live stream. Because the fact that Eli doesn't have kids, he's got no right to talk on it. That would be like me talking, I don't know, on a stream about something that I know nothing about, and then being, all like, well, I know this, that, and the other, and I don't know nothing. Do you know what I mean? Eli's coaching streams are always a thinly veiled attack on something. Yeah, and it is this time. I've always said an eye for an eye. If you mess with my kids, I'm a reciprocate. Well, there is that, but at this point in time, if the stream is targeting who I think it's targeting, how can she retaliate when Eli has no children? This is a one-sided targeted attack because it's obviously targeting a particular person, and it would be hard for this person to retaliate because Eli doesn't have children. But I can guarantee you this person will retaliate. Not necessarily at children, but I hope that a retaliation is put into fruition and it happens, because I think it's wrong. I think this kind of topic, if you don't have kids and you've never fostered kids, it shouldn't be a topic you're talking on, because this is going to be blatantly talking about a topic just to get at somebody. And that's just sad. That's sad that Eli's come so low to go to this kind of level when he claims that, he's such a good person and a good life coach, and he never targets people, and all the bullying he's ever got is unwanted, and he never instigated it and never starts anything. He's the one that keeps it going. He needs this. If he'd have just turned around yesterday when you and Tammy had said, oh, we're not going to talk about you anymore, and just stopped, what the fuck else is he going to talk about? Then he had to go for Nothing But Silicone, and then he has to go for Pedro. He's always got to find somebody to talk about, because without them, he's got no topics. He's got no channel. He's got no topics. We've always said that the only reason that Eli has a channel that lives and breathes is because of all of us. We're Eli's content, and without it, he's got no chat, no channel, and no one cares. And that is quite in a sad position to be. But this is Eli. He'll always say that this is a random topic. We picked it out of thin air. I'm sure you did, Eli. With the two brain cells you rubbed together to come up with the topic. It just happened to be about foster kids. I was under the impression that you were trying to save the gig world and the gig economy. And now you're talking about fostering kids. And the other day you were talking about some other weird topics. What happened to the gig stuff? Did you just not care anymore that gig workers are being ill-treated and underpaid? He's such a hypocrite. He's possibly the biggest hypocrite on YouTube I've ever met. He's just so... He just gets under your skin. He's such a fucking weasel. It's unbelievable. I would never make my money by targeting somebody with a stream like that. I have morals, values, and ethics when it comes to certain topics that I won't touch. Kids happens to be one of them because I have kids of my own, and I won't make comments on other people's kids or other parents' parenting skills or the way other people bring up their children and blah, 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 because every situation is different. They're literally going to be tarnishing a subject using one person as a case study from the sounds of it. And it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad that even Robert would go to this level. Now, I'd like to know who came up with the topic, and I guarantee you it was probably Robert. I don't believe Eli would have used the topic name. I don't know. I waver between the two of whether Eli came up with this or whether Robert came up with this. Because Eli definitely wanted to do a live stream. But I was under the impression that the live stream was going to be more targeting Silicone and Pedro. And that it was going to be more of that. But Eli's going to continue baiting one particular person until they drop the lawsuit. Because he's already been like, oh, you could drop the lawsuit. We don't have to do this. Your ego just won't let you. It's nothing about ego. You are literally the scum of the earth. This person had enough of you. And the amount of threats that you throw around, you never follow through. You just didn't think that this side actually had the balls to follow through with something. You threatened to sue JB for years. You threatened to sue quite a lot of people for years, and nothing come of it. So now that you've moved on, in layman's terms, I've moved on. I'm not going to talk about them. Instead of talking about them directly, you're now going to use topics like fostering kids. So you're still talking about certain people. It's just that it doesn't look like you're talking about certain people because now it's a broad topic. It's just not naming, certain people by name. Now it's just a broad topic. So they're all fair game, I guess. You have to live a very sheltered life to want to stoop to this level. But you still have to pose the question. It's not going to stop the lawsuit. I do not believe, and I quote, do not believe, as Eli put it, that within a few months, they'll get to the court date and within a couple of weeks, they'll pull out. You honestly don't believe that, right? You don't believe they went to the time and the effort to serve you a lawsuit and they're not going to see it through? Why? Because you've threatened to sue people a lot, and just because you've not gone through with it doesn't mean somebody else wouldn't. I mean, how many times have you threatened to sue people? You were going to get JB Gunner. You were going to sue Lycan. You were going to sue StreamYards. You were going to sue Wise Night Owl. For how much was it? £5 million was it that you believe you were owed? Was it $5 million you were going to sue Wise Night Owl for? Was it 5 million? Some fucking ridiculous amount. You threatened to sue everybody. You threatened to get ROs on 90% of YouTube. You threatened to put restraining orders on people and lawsuits. And every other day you threatened to do something. But then you'll do a live stream the next day going, oh, I don't have to sue you. I could. I don't really want to. But this is your last chance. And you've done that for months on people. Threatening for months to sue people, to RO them. And then you're like, well, I'll just give you one last chance, one last chance to, either be sued or not. And we kind of sit there and we're just like, you're just not suing anyone, Eli. You never got an RO on JB Gunner. You never got an RO out on anyone. And you're not suing them. And suing them for defamation of character that you claimed years ago, seriously? Or suing Wise Night Owl for loss of earnings? If you think your business is worth £5 million, you need therapy. Jesus. Many, many years of therapy, Eli. At the end of the day, you don't know nothing about kids. You don't know nothing about business. You don't know nothing about the gig economy. You barely know how to run a YouTube channel because you claim you're a full-time YouTuber. You do 2 hours a day, Eli. 2 hours a day. Get a fucking job, Eli. Get a real full-time fucking job. Because I tell you, you could spend 50 years on here, Eli. Well, you'll be dead by then. But you ain't going to make any money. And if you think that targeting people like this is going to make you a buck, who's donated to you while you've been on hot facts? How much you made? The reason you targeted me when I was getting the income is because you were jealous. The reason you targeted Lycan when he was getting donations, because you were jealous. The same with JB, the same with Tammy, the same with all of us. You're so fixated on money, and money is the root of all evil, and it never bodes well for somebody that wallet watches. Because I'll point out this time, Eli, you're fucked with the wrong people. That is for certain. When you threaten to sue people, you should really follow through because they got there first. And they're deadly serious. And you know what they've also got? The fact that they are genuine, warm-hearted people. There's your problem, Eli. They're liked, you're not. They have evidence. You spin lies like they're going out of fashion. Every other day it's, oh, well, I did have the paperwork and I do have this and, oh, but I didn't. Oh, come on, Eli. You can't even get your story straight. If you can't get your story straight on a live stream, how are you going to get your story straight in court? The only reason you're trying to get the court case diminished is because you're scared that you're actually going to lose. When you do lose, there will be the biggest YouTube celebration party the fucking world has ever seen. Because for once and for all, we're going to prove you 100% fucking wrong. And there'll be nothing Eli can do about it. Because when a judge rules, there's no, but no, Eli. When a judge rules, you'll have that smile wiped off your face. There'll be no ifs, there'll be no buts. Cold, hard facts for once are going to get you. You can't spin this one. You may be able to spin a narrative on YouTube, but when you go to court, you can't spin a narrative. They want cold, hard, fucking evidence. Facts are just conspiracies. They just don't sit in court, Eli. Have you not watched enough court dramas to know that when you go in a court, you have to have a folder full of shit that actually proves stuff? Not, oh, but she, no. Oh, but she, no. You have to have cold, hard facts, Eli. I'm sorry, but if you think you're going to walk into court and just go, well, this YouTuber is just bullying me online and she's targeting me and I've been harassed for years and, oh my God, Jesus Christ, Eli, get a grip. Get a grip, Eli. You targeted her because she made more money. And the fact that's going to look bad in court, they were raising money for charity. not for herself. They were raising money for domestic violence charity, which she had called a 911 call on your girlfriend for, because the video of you emotionally abusing Dawn, we've all seen it. You can show the court that if you want and say, look, my girlfriend was perfectly fine, but she was sitting on that live stream in that car, emotionally distressed and in tears. And you're going to tell me that the statement she made of that you always hurt me doesn't stick? Or that you emotionally trauma her day after day after day after day, didn't give us any hint that maybe, just maybe, she was in emotional distress and was crying out for help. Hence the 911 call for the welfare check. And any judge is going to look at the fact that we cared about Dawn and that a welfare check was fully in our right because we'd seen it on a live stream. And if the rule is if you see something, say something. And then because of the situation that happened with Dawn, we decided to come together as a group and set up a domestic violence fund to donate to people that were struggling, the same as what we believe Dawn is. And the only reason you flagged that is because of the money. If Tammy wasn't raising money for that domestic violence thing, I do not believe you'd have had any grounds to flag her channel. I don't believe you'd have done it. I think at the end of the day, when she was making, I don't know what the main number was, whether it was like £400 or £500 at that point, but you flagged me when I made $300 in one day before. So we know it's because of the money. You're not flagging her because you dislike her. You're not flagging her channel because you believe her and J-Rom are in cahoots. You were flagging her because she made money. And the money wasn't going to her. As you well know, the money was going to domestic violence. She was going to donate it. She was going to give receipts that she donated it. It was all above board. The same as when I got money from my child, for my grandchild, it was all above board. I showed the things I bought. Everybody knew where the money was going. It was not underhanded or scheming or blah, blah, blah. The same with the domestic violence thing. Because we couldn't help Dawn by helping her, we thought, well, we can't help Dawn. We'll help other domestic violence victims that are going through possibly the same thing. And she made a live stream, a couple of them, made some money, and then you just went for her. I still do not believe it had anything to do with the fact that she'd supposedly cloned your channel. Do not believe that. I do not believe the cloning of your channel was the reason you took a channel down. I believe it was the money. And that was a way of using it to get it taken down. Which is kind of shady. To be real. Because, you know, you say you care about females. You care about Dawn. You really have a valid interest in domestic abuse victims. Because obviously Dawn was supposedly one from a previous relationship. You think you'd care we were raising money for something like that? No, not even care. Donate. If you had any morals, you'd have donated to it yourself. But as I digress, this again is just another low blow from Eli. It's another targeted live stream on a random supposed topic. You know, it's sad. It really is sad. But that's Eli. That's how he does stuff. That's how his morals lie. If Eli had any decency and he wanted the lawsuit to stop, he would donate the money that Tammy lost. He's never offered to donate the money to Tammy that she lost. He's never emailed her and said, look, I'm really sorry. I took your channel down because you cloned my channel. I do feel sorry that domestic violence money was lost. How much was it? I'm willing to give you the money and we'll just move on. Never offered that. It's not about the money at the end of the day. It's about Eli's ego. And that's what's getting him into trouble. Eli's ego is going to be the demise of his channel. It's not going to be money or restreams. Eli's demise will be his own ego. And this hot facts with Robert Reese shit, it won't last. At some point, Eli clashes with everyone. You just have to find a particular topic, scenario, pick on the wrong person, and his little bonding session falls apart. The same as it did with everybody. Eli always claims to be like, oh, he's my brother and I love you like a brother and everything's fucking rainbows and unicorns and they've got this little bromance going on. And he's had that with a lot of people. He thought him and RJ had a bromance. He thought him and 8-Bit Reactor had a bromance. He thought him and Charles F. Gray had a bromance. He thought him and JB had a slight bromance at one point, or he could have a bromance with Lycan. And it all falls apart for him. It all falls apart for him. And why? Ego's own vanity, his own ego, is what causes him the problems. He's so fixated on what everybody else is doing. The constant checking whether he's being talked about. I'd be exhausted. If I had to watch 4, 5, 6 different live streams about me, I'd be exhausted. At that point, I'd be like, I don't care what they're talking about with me. I'm too tired for this shit. I couldn't sit there and listen to that many live streams against me. But then again, you know, Eli kind of enjoys it, I think. I think he kind of enjoys the attention. Hey, Resla, Merry Christmas and all of that to you. How are you in this festive season? Hey, Eli wants to be Pedro. Eli and R are using each other. Yeah, I can see that. I don't know what Reese is using Eli for because it can't be money. Because apart from the live stream, they're not making money. Reese is getting watch hours. No one's donating. No one's donating to either of them. Wish you guys a nice day. Need to go to the gym later. Or I don't think I need to go to the gym. I think I'm quite thin enough as I am. If I got any thinner, I'd be a rake. Yeah, he knows he's a lolcow, but the problem is you can only flog the lolcow for so long. Even Lycan realized that. And so did JB. JB used Eli for a while. Lycan used Eli for a while. And they just grew tired of him. And as you will see, JB's moved on and so has Lycan. Eventually, Hot Facts will get bored of Eli or it won't draw in a crowd. And then he'll get rid of him. And then Eli will be back again to having nobody. Hey, audios. Have a good day. You too. So it can only last for so long. In my eyes, the bonding that they have is timed. It's all timed. The bonding is timed because eventually Eli eventually Eli will say something or do something or rub him up the wrong way, or Robert will just get bored of him. Because the thing with Eli is he doesn't really have he doesn't have a following. He doesn't have a following. He doesn't really have topics because he's like a one-trick pony. Eli's okay when he's talking about bashing people and that, but when it comes to like actual topics, he doesn't really have anything. The same as with the other day when Robert was doing the stream with Eli. Eli was out of his depth. He was swimming with the sharks. He was out of his depth on the topic. He didn't really have much to say. He didn't really have much an opinion. He didn't have anything to draw on as an example because he's basically not really seen or done anything. He's a really boring person. Like, I've lived. I haven't lived, if you want to say it like that, but I have experience in a lot of things. I've done a lot of things in my life, good and bad. Let's not sugarcoat that I'm an angel. I've done bad things too. But the topic today is foster kids. And I will reiterate, Eli doesn't have kids. He's never fostered children. And he knows nothing on the topic. It's a dead topic to Eli. It's a topic that I believe Robert set up, but I don't believe Eli has anything that's going to add to the topic. What could he possibly bring to the table? What can he bring to the conversation? It's kind of a stupid topic. I mean, I thought they were trying to save the gig world. What happened to trying to save the gig world? Did that go out of the window? Are we not trying to save the gig world anymore? Have we decided that the gig world is just like on its own? Because he was an advocate for the gig world. And now he's an advocate for foster children. Eli would never foster kids. He's very selfish. Yeah, just imagine if they peed on his carpet. You think a dog pees and poops on your carpet? Imagine if you had a child shitting and pissing and throwing up on your carpet. Oh, you don't know the struggles until you've had a kid that does that. And it's coming out of all ends. You ever seen a kid throw up? They have literally no control. No control of either end. So you think a dog is bad, Eli? You should try a child. And the fact he lets a dog shit and piss in his house, that's just bad training. That's just poor management. Doesn't Dawn do all these things on his carpet? I don't know, but I'm going to assume so. Hey, Bodacious with the $1.49 Black Kitty. Mwah. Hey, Bodacious. I've been live streaming for a bit. I actually have to go to Tesco's in a bit and I have to get some drink because Mama needs some drink. I did have a donation this morning. An anonymous donator this morning who donated some money so that I could get myself a Christmas present. This money was stipulated that it was not to go on family or my kids or to buy food. It was to buy a present for me. And that's whether it's getting my hair dyed, getting myself a new fancy top, getting myself some new trainers. I was to get something for myself. So the anonymous donator, you know who you are. I don't know what I'm going to spend it on. I will spend it wisely. And I will buy something before Christmas with it. Someone donated just for me. Nobody else. It's not to go on anything else but myself. And that was stipulated when it was donated. So I'm going to follow exactly what they said. I also want to thank Bodacious who donated also behind the scenes. Your donation is going to food, mind you. And that's helping tie me over until I get my Christmas box. I'm going to the food bank on the 18th of December to get my Christmas box. So I can't wait for that because it's things like that make you appreciate places like food banks and that they can actually help me. And I feel a little less nervous going there now. I went there last week and I felt a little bit more comfortable. I still felt uncomfortable though. It did still feel uncomfortable. But it's only for a short time. Hopefully once I've got this Christmas box and then apparently I can get a box in the new year, I should be fine. And things should go back to normal. But at the minute with my run of bad luck, the car accident, I'm not doing as many hours. Obviously with my nan, not doing as many hours. So we're just going to have to play that by ear. But thank you to Bodacious, and thank you to the anonymous donator. Bodacious, your money will go on some tasty food and some good snacks for Christmas, because we love snacks at Christmas. And then the anonymous donators one is to be given to myself, stipulated when donated. And Raven is one to follow the directions of a donator. Will I show you what I bought? I don't know. Apparently, I'm not meant to show stuff I bought anymore because it promotes, bad vibes, I guess. But we'll see. I might show you, I might not. I'm not getting a lot for Christmas anyway, because obviously I'm not giving people a lot for Christmas. I do have a few things that I am giving my grandchild for Christmas, and obviously to my boys, that I have managed to scrape some money together from your donations, and YouTube will pay me on the 21st, I think, or thereabouts. So if I get that money in time, the money will go towards paying for my children's Christmas. I don't currently know how much is in my my AdSense fund. I probably should know how much is in there by now, as it's, what is it? It's the 10th, but we don't get that till the 21st, and I can't remember the cutoff date for Google AdSense. Let me have a look. But I am getting 2 months of Google AdSense this month, because I didn't earn enough last month to get Google AdSense, so the two are going to combine this month. So I should get a fair amount from Google AdSense, because unlike Eli, I actually earn money on YouTube. Good morning, Ed. Good afternoon, Eddie. Sorry. Christmas is cancelled. Ooh. So my current balance is £136.08. YouTube will take 30%, so I will probably end up with about £100 from YouTube this month, which is fine. I only have to earn 60 to get it from YouTube. That's all I have to earn is £60, and YouTube pays me. So yeah, I will have earned £100. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it's £100. £100 is £100. But yeah, I got £136 currently, and then YouTube will take 30%. So, around about £100 I've made this month, which, to be fair, I haven't really live streamed. I haven't really done anything worth donating to, if I'm honest. I haven't restreamed Eli. I haven't really done any content of value. My channel's kind of gone downhill, but then again, with my nan dying, my hours have been cut. With the car accident I was in, I hadn't exactly been in like let's live stream mode. Quite a lot of people have been understandable that my nan dying from dementia is taking up more of my time. They're also understanding that the car accident that I had is taking me off work a bit more. And that, as you will see in the live stream, I've had to keep moving because my back is so painful. So I've had a lot on, and honestly, YouTube just hasn't been top of the bill. I haven't even restreamed Eli. I don't even have the patience to restream Eli because he's so fucking boring. I mean, back in the day, I'd restream Eli every night without fail. But it's the same bullshit now. It's the same targeted attacks on our side. And it's, oh, well, they're targeting me, so I made a live stream about them. You could just be the bigger person and just not make a live stream about them. Oh, but all my followers want to know what's happening, and they're all emailing me, and they all want to know I'm fine. Well, just say you're fine. You don't have to do a 2-hour live stream bitching and whining. Yeah, he's been pretty pissy lately. He's been so fucking triggered lately. The triggery is real. He's been so negative, so triggered, jealous of Pedro, jealous of everybody. For someone who's apparently got his shit together and doesn't care about our opinions or our blah, 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 he really is concentrating on us so fucking hard. And he claims that J-Rom and Tammy and all of us are obsessed with him. But we're not doing live stream after live stream talking about him. He's done it for weeks. I mean, he targeted Pedro for like 6 months and then wanted to become best friends with him. The same as he was targeting Lycan for years and, flag that motherfucker's channel and take him down and flag everything. I want his channel gone. And now they're best, now he wanted to be buddy with him. Like, come on, Eli. We know it's all about the money, but Jesus Christ, have some morals sometimes. Have some dignity. But yeah, it just shows how shallow Eli is and how low he will stoop for money. Even I have some limits when it comes to money, like targeting family, targeting children. But Dawn has said some nasty shit about people, including myself, behind the scenes, which I've heard. And I don't appreciate that. If she wants to run her mouth, she can do it on a stream. Come out here and give your opinion. Eli does it. If you want to run your mouth behind the scenes, that's fine. Just don't run your mouth so people can hear it and tell other people. It's the first rule of backstabbing and talking shit about people. Don't let other people tell other people that you're talking shit. She's not a great person. She's a terrible person. In retrospect of what I think of Dawn and Eli, they're the perfect match. They are both scummy, self-centered, money-fixated lowlifes. Eli only had one chatty yesterday, very sad. Oh, was Nightbot being forced to watch Eli again? He banned all the good people because he can't take a difference of opinion. Hence why I've been banned 4 times. Yes, I was banned 4 times, which is actually, if you can be banned from Eli, you take it as a medal of honor that you can actually be banned from Eli's. I missed that. Yeah, if you can get banned from Eli's, it's a sign that you get under his skin, and I like that. I like to get under Eli's skin. I like to annoy him. I like to trigger him. I like him to feel like he's so special, and he's just not. Let him have his little. Let him have his little moment, his little bitch, his little whine. Because at the end of the day, no one really cares about him. Let's be honest. I mean, if his channel went down tomorrow, who's mourning over it? Who's going to care if his channel goes down tomorrow? Anybody? Anyone going to worry if his channel just suddenly disappeared tomorrow? Because I don't think so. He banned Paul again because he dared to speak the truth. I did see that. I'm not a big fan of Paul. Paul has tried to convince me that Eli's a good person, and so have a lot of people. It's just not happening. There are plenty of other locales. Hey, Twiggy! Twiggy's in the house. Hey, Twigs. Hey, California Ford Outdoors, or California Ford as you're now known. How's everybody? Where have you all been for 2 hours? I have to go to the shop in a bit, so I can't live stream for long because I've been live for 2 hours. You've missed the stream with Raven. I have to make it to the shop by 4 o'clock, and it is now 10 to 3. So you've got me for a bit longer, and then I have to disappear. What time is Eli's stream with Hot Facts? Is that later this evening? I didn't look. You were sleeping? How dare you, Bodacious? Consider yourself fired from my channel. Time zones. I know. I wanted to do this live stream before Pedro's one. I wanted to do my live stream before Hot Facts with Robert Reese's one, Pedro. So, the time difference. Hey, Red Bull. Have we died this week, my darling? Because you know you're banned from dying, right? My heart can't take you going into hospital again. I've been looking through my backpack looking for a phone charger because I've been MIA this week. I had noticed you'd been MIA, California. Smash the thumbs up. Yeah. If you want to donate to the channel, the PayPal is pinned at the top, or you can send a super chat or super thanks. Consider donating to the channel. It's not very often I talk shit on Eli because he flags my channel and he just can't take it from the Ravens. So consider donating whatever you can spare this very troublesome Christmas time. Good old Twiggy. I'm so glad that you managed to serve that mother. It's about time someone put a fucking thing on Eli, and thank you, Twiggy, for doing that. You are thumbs up, as Pedro says, for that. Twigs for president. Yeah, you did us a favor, Twigs. The look on his face when he opened that door being served, holy shit. I am so glad I got to witness that, because Eli's been threatening for years to sue somebody. The amount of videos you could take that he's threatened to sue everybody, literally everybody. He's threatened to put ROs on people. He's threatened defamation of character. He's threatened to go to copyright YouTube court. He threatened StreamYards. He threatened, oh God, who else did he threaten? He's threatened quite a lot of people. And it's about time that somebody fucking served him. Just doing a job. He doesn't get that. Yeah, you're just doing your job. At the end of the day, Twiggy, you were hired to do a job. You did the job. So be it. The only thing Eli is fucking butthurt. That's all he is. He's just butthurt. Hey, Yuri-san, Eli has been feisty of late. This one is feisty. Yeah, he's been feisty, but he's been feisty for the wrong reasons. Feisty for the wrong reasons, I would say. Funny thing is that he thinks it's personal. It was a job. I have served so many people. You cannot let it be personal. If you're doing a job like that, you take your personal opinions out of the situation. It's the same as being a court judge. If you're in a judge or you're on a jury, you have to be impartial. The fact you were hired to serve him papers is a job. It's just a job, Twiggy. You did an amazing job. Eli wants to saw you with a lawsuit. I say dare him to do it, because he's never followed through with any lawsuit in the history of 7 years on YouTube. So I think you might be fine. I spent the whole day looking for work. It's a hit and miss. We're looking for employment online. I mean, my job might have got better. We've had a member of staff leave, but we've also hired somebody. So there's a chance for more hours. I've got to do key holder twice in the upcoming weeks. I'm in charge. I'll be running the store twice, once on a Sunday and then once during the week. Actually, I'm running it 2 days before Christmas. I like it when Eli describes how the court proceedings will go and how he will talk to the judge. It's so naive. Yes, I'm going to tell the judge this, that, and the other. I'm sorry, Eli, you don't get to have your say. When you go to court, the judge has specific questions. You can't deviate. You can't manipulate. You can't twist and turn the court proceedings. They are set in stone, Eli. He's exhibiting many traits like targeted individuals. Oh no, Eli's a targeted TI. It takes time and effort to look for a job because freeloading is not tax deductible. It isn't. It's a very bad look, tax being like that. Eli must hire a cleaner for his house using his mummy's money. Of course, he's too lazy to clean himself. Pretty much. I mean, Eli claims to do all the housework, but I don't know. I'd like to believe that Eli pulls his weight, but the fact that Dawn doesn't work, don't you think she would do it? Shouldn't Dawn be doing that? Oh, no, hang on. Dawn's too poorly. I bet he bought the most heaviest Hoover in the world, and maybe he ran over her foot with the Hoover. Because she broke her leg somehow, or her ankle, or something, because she's like stick thin. She's like one step away from being skeletal at this point. I've never been that thin that I've broken anything, but it begs the question of how. It's not like she was going on a walk or on a trail. What'd she do? Fall down the stairs? Did she have another seizure? Because, girl, you need to get looked at if you keep having these accidents. Yeah, it's hard times, but those that is suing the 71 don't care. They just want the money. Well, I mean, it's people like Eli, isn't it? Fixated on the almighty dollar, are we? That's what Eli's fixated on, isn't it? Eli don't care who he hurts. But he's never, in the history of YouTube, like, he's never, never actually, he's never actually gone through with anything. He's threatened a lot of people. He threatened a lawsuit on me, and I'm in the fucking UK. I'd like to see him try. Is that actually Pedro? Is that Pedro DoorDash Santiago? Is that actually Pedro? Can someone confirm that's really him? Because there is a there is a sock account of Pedro going around. Can someone confirm that's actually, not that I'm being Eli, I just want to make sure it's actually Pedro. Because I've actually spoke about Pedro in the stream, and I want to say, Pedro, that everything I said has been good. The fact that he claims you were paid £10,000 to troll him, he's got fucking grand delusions, I tell you. If he thinks he's worth £10,000 of someone's hard-earned money, he threatened to sue StreamYards. He threatened to sue JB. He threatened to sue Lycan Theory. He's threatened to sue me. He threatened to get an RO on JROM. He threatens Tammy to get an RO or defamation of character. The amount of copyright lawsuits he wants to file is fucking humongous. Hey, Gordo. Yes, it's him. Thank you, Gordo. I just want to make sure, because there's quite a few sock accounts of, well, sock accounts of literally everyone at the minute. Jenny's Books and Vlogs has got a sock account. Eli's got tons of sock accounts. You never know. Eli's a schemy little fucker. Not just YouTube. Eli has failed in real life. Yeah, he's a failure in general, Yura-san. He's possibly one of the most failed human beings I've ever had the presence of talking to. For somebody that's managed to accomplish nothing in life, he talks a big talk. But we love Twiggy. Eli's a complete loser. Well, there you go, Pedro. I mean, it stands to reason, doesn't it? But, you know, I'd like to say that back in the day, maybe Eli would have filed a lawsuit or gone for somebody, because he has that kind of low morals when it comes to threatening people. But then he'll threaten one day. So as you took today, he'll be like, oh, I'm going to threaten Tammy for this, that, and the other. And then the next day it's, oh, well, I don't want to put a lawsuit on you. And he can keep that up for months. The amount of times he threatened to sue JB and Lycan and put ROs on them and defamation of character, and they were destroying his business. He must have kept that up for years, threatening them. He'd threaten them in one stream, and then he'll go, well, you could just stop restreaming me, and then I won't have to do a lawsuit. And then the next day it would be like, well, you know, you could just be the bigger man and not do it, and then I wouldn't have to sue you. And he'd do that for months, literally months. The irony of him saying people are slandering his name when he does it to others all the time without having any proof is hilarious. Exactly. He is a very much two-faced person. He's slagging you off on one channel, but he doesn't do it on his own. because, you know, he has a clean channel, but he's quite willing to go on hot facts and just shit all over people. But then when Tammy and J-Rom do a stream and they're talking about him, oh, it's defamation of character. Oh, they're slandering me. Oh, they're targeting my business. What, because they're not running a business, it means you're not targeting them? They're not losing money? Just because they're not a business doesn't mean you have every right to slander them. If you want non-slander to you, it's the same both fucking ways. I know Eli flagged my channel before, but was quite happy to talk shit about me last month. He mentioned my name a couple of weeks ago on a live stream and was talking shit about me. And then he wonders why I talk shit about him. It goes both ways, Eli. You shut the fuck up, and so will I. He talks about being a man all the time, and it's because he wishes he was a real man. He's a very sheltered, closed off, narrow-minded, egotistical little man. He really is the scum of California. Would never allow Hot Facts to come on his panel to do a series. Eli doesn't like or respect Robert. He will keep his channel by keeping Robert off it. Yeah, why has Robert not been on Eli's channel? That's a good question, Pedro. Eli wants Pedro. Why is Eli quite willing to go to Pedro's and talk shit? But why is he not allowing Pedro? Why is he not allowing Hot Facts on his channel? Hot Facts barely appears in the chat because, no one really appears in the chat. Unless you count Nightbot, and Nightbot, unfortunately, God rest his soul, is obliged to listen to every stream Eli ever does. That's a hard thing to compete with there. The dedication of Nightbot is tenfold. I mean, I've restreamed Eli for years. I did maybe 4 years of restreams of Eli, and the content didn't get any better. It just didn't. Dawn is rarely in the chat. Yeah, Dawn's not in the chat because she's asleep all the time, because she's on different meds. For someone that's, Dawn's there, but as Eli said, they're a business, so she doesn't necessarily have to be there all the time because, in all honesty, it's his business. Dawn's just unfortunate to be an associate of his business. In fact, I think she's just an employee. But the whole crux of today is that Eli is talking about fostering kids for money on Hot Facts' channel. And this is obviously a targeted conversation towards one of our side. And it's just wrong. And I don't tend to like get in people's business and stick my nose in where it's not wanted. But I think the target today is one of our side from that incredibly distasteful live stream that's going to happen. Dawn has better things to do than support her man. Yes, sleeping is apparently very, very much needed. But thank you, Pedro, for coming over here. Do consider subscribing as well and thumbsing it up. I've always wanted to meet Pedro and hear his side because, Eli likes to spin his own narrative. And I have watched Pedro's streams and I've watched Pedro's live streams and all that. I used to be in the gig economy. I got out many years ago. I don't do it anymore. I used to do pizza delivery with a friend in the UK. So as Eli claims, I know nothing about the gig economy. I actually did the gig economy, but he wouldn't know that because he never asked. Yeah, smash the thumbs up. She's not getting paid and that makes her an, she's an intern. Well, she does get paid. Let's not beat around the bush, J-Rom. She's getting paid in alcohol. I don't know if that counts. Oh, wait, is that what his topic is? Yeah, let me show you Let me show you hot facts topic for today. For anybody that didn't know that the topic is basically not good. Where is it? Let me see if I can get you hot facts' stream today, because it's clearly targeting a member of our side. It's pretty obvious. He can say whatever he likes that it's not targeting, but it clearly is. Let me show Twiggy the topic for today. The topic for today is this. Foster kids, do people love the kids or is it for the money? That's the topic for today. Foster kids, do people love the kids or is it for money? And that's obviously a targeted attack. If you know the person in our community that actually fostered, a child, you will know this is targeted. Basic targeting of one of our side. We all know they have done this to create a reaction, but guys don't react. No. I just said that it was bang out of order. It's actually pretty simple. Eli wanted attention for a long time. I didn't give it to him. And when I didn't, he started talking about my girlfriend. It's a very sick way. Yeah. If he can't target you, he's going to target your friends, your family, your loved ones. So because Eli's not getting the attention now from a member of our side, he's now going to start attacking the children. He attacked my son as well. Let's not forget that. He's attacked my son not once, but twice. Over the years, Eli actually targeted my son. And when he originally targeted my son, he was a minor. When he first targeted my son was a minor. And he tried to tell my son, when my son was in my chat, that I was a terrible parent and that he wanted to talk to my son behind the scenes to get my son to conspire against me, his own mother. Would you believe that? And then a couple of months ago, he was targeting me again. And my son came in the chat and was defending me. And Eli had to go at him once again. But this time, my son's actually an adult this time. So my son just went hell for leather on him. And I fully allowed him to. But yeah, he targeted my son multiple times because he thought that was a way of going at my son to get at me. But he doesn't need to go at my son to get my attention, because I quite happily target Eli for nothing. If people donate to me, they donate to me. Are they donating for me to target Eli? Absolutely not, because I'll do it for free. I've done it for free for many a year, targeting Eli. Money is irrelevant. It helps, but it's not needed. Robert does the same stuff for me. Who makes up lies to get my attention? Yeah, they're desperate. It's desperate. It's sad. Yeah, he was trying to groom my son. You were there, Gordo, when he was trying that. Can you remember that? Back in the day, he was trying to groom my son because he told my son he wanted to talk to him behind the scenes, and he was going to try and convince my son that I was a bad person and that it was my upbringing that had brought up such a horrible child, because my son went into Eli's chat and was defending me, and Eli just went off at my son and then said that he'd talk behind the scenes and he'd tell my son what I was really like. Yeah, he'd tell my son what I was really like. And then, it was 3 or 4 years ago. And then my son was in the chat maybe a couple of months ago. And he was targeting my son once again because I was talking about Eli. My son was in the chat making comments. And Eli made a comment that I was having my son targeting Eli and blah, blah, blah. It's pretty sad, really. And he did a live stream saying that I was a bad parent and all of this. He got no, shouldn't be judging me, I tell you. You're not going to be manipulated by Eli's fake love. Eli doesn't love anybody. Raven, would you consider Eli a handsome man? No. Fuck no. Eli is 5'7" at best. 5'7", 5'8". I'm not into short, fat, dumpy little guys. You want to know what I hate about Eli? Okay, here we go. Okay. So he's 5'6", 5'7", maybe 5'8", judging by the video. He doesn't seem to have a personality. He can't have fun. He can't laugh. He can't switch off. He's money orientated. For the fact he's Greek, which means they are just obsessed with money. He has a dorky little hat. He dyes his beard. He's bald. He seems to have had no life experience. He's barely left Cali. He's not a successful businessman. He brings nothing to the table in personality, money. I mean, geez, he meets women in parking lots. I mean, he's like one step away from being a serial killer at that point. The way he talks about women is disgusting. His values and morals. He's fat. He has man boobs. He makes my skin crawl. The fact that anyone would want to get jiggy with him 3 times a month, let alone once, just makes. Hey, Jenny's Books and Vlogs. Is that Jenny? Because she doesn't have a mod wrench. He's a despicable human being. He targets children. He targets their wives. For somebody who didn't like the fact we were targeting Dawn, was quite happy to target Pedro's girlfriend and is still targeting Pedro's girlfriend. I don't know if Pedro watched it where he was saying, what was it he said about Madison, how she can't agree with what Pedro does and how she should be ashamed of him and all of this. And I'm just like it's just infuriating. He just gets under your skin. It's not Jenny. It's one of those spoof channels. It looks real to me. Yeah. I am graying. I wouldn't dye it. It's the real Jenny. If it's not Jenny, it's one hell of a spoof channel. It looks real to me. Has it got the same amount of subscribers? It's just that Jenny doesn't have a mod wrench, that's all. I was just wondering why. Let me check it, Jenny. If it's Jenny, I'll give her, if it's the real Jenny, 2.2k. Jenny, why do you not have a mod wrench? Hang on. Let's do some YouTube business. Okay, if it's the real Jenny, hang on, let me give you a mod wrench. I don't know why Jenny doesn't have one. I hate when fucking YouTube just take away mod wrenches just willy-nilly. But whoever got this to Pedro, thank you so much. I've always wanted to have Pedro come and listen to me because out of most of the people in the chat, I've known Eli for 7 years. Same as like Red Bull Jack, Gordo. I don't know how many years J-Rom has known him because obviously J-Rom was originally elsewhere. But obviously, it's not hard to hear about Eli because people have been talking about him for years. If it's Jenny, I'll give her a mod wrench. There you go. Last video is your advent calendar. Okay. That's confirmation enough for me, Jenny. There you go. I'll give you a mod wrench and then I'll know for certain it's the real you from now on. I'd love to see Eli finally address him in daily contact with his friends, sponsor Tory Brewer, despite being dead for 10 months. Do you know what? So would I. I'd love to see the conversation from beyond the grave. I shared this in Pedro's Discord. Oh, thank you, Eli wants to be Pedro. Thank you for that. I found Eli a month before Dana left him. Ah. I knew Eli quite a bit before then. I know Eli when he was back in Midtown, or around Midtown, or associating with Midtown, or trying to be Midtown. Yeah, he tried to tried to coach the people of Midtown. If you didn't know Eli's backstory, he tried to coach the people of Midtown. If you didn't know what Midtown, it's basically men that hate women, and he was going over there with his almighty life coaching, and amazingly enough, it didn't go well. They hate him over there. If anyone hates Eli more than Midtown, I'd be very surprised. You know, and then when Eli stumbled across, men going their own way, basically. Yeah, men sacking off women. So Eli thought, you know what? My target audience should be men going their own way, and I should tell them how to act, how to be. Yeah. That's how he managed to meet Lycan, and that's how he managed to meet JB. And from the minute they met Eli, the dislike was tenfold. They hated this little bald-headed, you know, misogynistic, highly opinionated little man that, you know, had everything and nothing all at the same time. Locals going their own way. That would be a better one for him. And they tried, you know, he tried to convert them to the ways of Eli, and it didn't work. And you found him he found you in 2019 in Pusa Studios. Ah, okay, Jenny. Yeah, like I said, I met Eli. I met Eli about 6.5, 7 years ago. I met him purely by accident when he turned up at a live stream of mine. And he turned up at a live stream of mine with Lycan, Joe Buddy, and the bearded Phonophilus. I don't know how you say his fucking name. And he turned up in my live stream one day, and he tried to tell me that Lycan and Joe were hate attacking him and targeting him, and they bully him and they harass him. And I had a pretty semi-big following then. And Eli came in there apparently to, I don't know why he came in there, but I knew of Lycan-ish, and I knew of Eli-ish because of Midtown. And the shit he was causing over there was like filtering outwards. And then obviously Lycan had his Lycan Legion, or at that time he was known as the Purple Pill. And Lycan was doing pretty well for himself. You know, he was doing the Purple Pill stuff. He was doing the dating stuff. He was doing the kind of, you know, stuff that Lycan did back then before he got into all the drama. And Eli thought, you know, I'll life coach Lycan and his entire legion. And he was trying to take, you know, Lycan's followers. And then when that didn't work, instead of trying to take his followers, he tried to collaborate with him. And Lycan just wasn't interested. The same as Pedro isn't interested. The same as a lot of people aren't interested in collabing with Eli. And you know why? Because it never goes well. Look at what happened to RJ. He wanted to collab with RJ. It went awry. He wanted to collab with JB. It went awry. Charles F. Gray. It went awry. You know, collaborating with Pedro. It wouldn't have lasted. Collaborating with Granny Monster. They were doing coffee with Granny in the morning. That didn't work. He's not one to collab with because he's very narrow-minded, very one-sided, and it's all about him as a person. He doesn't give a shit about you, your family, your friends, nothing. All he cares about is the almighty dollar. If it's not bringing in the almighty dollar, he's not interested. Pure and simple. Granny Monster hates Eli now. Eli got into a pretty bad way with Granny. him and Granny were doing the live stream of, I can't remember what it was called. I'm sure Gordo will tell me. It was like Coffee with Granny and Eli or something. And he stole that term anyway from other people. Like he's stolen everything, like names, channels, topics. You know, he's always stolen shit from fucking other places. He can't even get his own fucking channel name properly. Yeah. He used to not outright ban everyone. Not originally. It took Eli a long time to start banning everybody. Originally, he would allow people to chat. Is Granny Monster still around? She still has a channel. She doesn't live stream a lot, but Granny is still around and she still uploads sometimes. But I think she did the best thing for herself because right when Granny left, the shit he had going on with Lycan and some other people, I don't think that's what Granny wanted. I thought she hoped that by doing the coffee stream with him, that things were gonna go back to like normal. There you go. Yeah. It's Granny's channel. Granny still has a channel. If you didn't know, this is Granny Monster. Granny Monster last loaded a video an hour ago. She still loads. Granny Monster still loads. She loaded a video about an hour ago. So she still loads stuff. She just doesn't do like much. She hasn't live streamed in about a year, but she's still around. She's still around. I've been banned from day one. I wear that badge of honor. I've been banned 4 times. I'm sure other people in the chat can say how many times they've been banned. I've been banned 4. JT had been banned 6 last time I counted. JT was actually beating me. He'd been banned 6 times. I've been banned 4. I think it was a competition at one point between me and JT to see how many times we could get banned. You're perma-banned. Yeah, Eli just banned Gordo outright. And that was because he was too pally with Jamie. If you're pally with Jamie, you had to go. Over 100 if you count soccer counts. Yeah, 100 times. Banned twice. Yay, bodacious. JT topped me out at 7. Yeah, JT's been banned 7. I've been banned 4 times last time I counted. Eli doesn't like me. He doesn't like a lot of people. But then again, the feeling's mutual, so Paul is in the lead for the most timeouts. Yeah, Paul's really going for it with timeouts. I'm not a big fan of Paul, I must admit. Paul coming over here back in the day and trying to get me not to talk so much about Eli and just to go easy on him. It doesn't work really well with me to have someone come in my chat and say, look, just give the man a chance, because Eli's a sucky human being. I don't care what you think. Eli banned me after I left. Well, you know, Paul. I remember that stream. Oh my God. I think it was the Christmas channel that clipped that and made an entire video out of that. It's fucking hilarious. I've never even been timed out. I just got banned and blocked. He couldn't even see my comments. Ah. Gordo didn't even get the chance to give Eli the full Gordo opinion treatment. That's shocking, Gordo. You didn't even get to voice your opinion. If you're wondering, yes, my trousers are glittery. Just in case you're wondering, they are glitterified. And then my top is all glittery for work. I have to dress up all Christmassy. But today I'm rocking the Christmas truck. You know, bit of Christmas trucking. But I'm glad Twigs is over here. I'm glad that Pedro came over here. I have to go in on soccer accounts to see his comments. Really? Oh, because you're banned. Oh dear. Gordo's a very naughty boy. I don't know if you'd even, I mean, I suppose I care what Eli talks about because usually it's dumb shit and it's worth at least laughing at, I guess you could say. But really, he's kind of boring now. I mean, the thing with Tammy at the minute is, oh, you know, if Tammy would just, let her ego go, this could all be over with. I don't think it's got anything to do with Tammy's ego. This got nothing to do with ego. This has got to do with principles, Eli, which you. Gordo, no one wants to hear what you have to say anyway. Yeah, Gordo. What makes you think you're so special that you have to get your opinions out there? He blocked me twice, Gordo, a couple of months. He blocked you again. Yeah, well, I'm fluent in profanities. You are, Gordo. That's probably why he banned you. And to be fair, you were Jamie's right-hand man. And you made so many memes that pissed him off. I'm not surprised you were banned. I can see his comments again, but can't chat. Yeah, I can see his comments. I'm banned. Eli unbans me on occasion. He'll randomly just say, I've unbanned a few people. He did, I don't know, maybe a year ago, he unbanned me and thought that we could like work things out. And then he just banned me straight away because I made a live stream shitting all over him, as I do always. I don't know why he believes I'll like have a come to Eli moment and just suddenly change my opinions on him, because I think hating him for 7 years has done me fairly well. How'd you find out about the channel? You have 60 seconds on a 60-second delay. Yeah, never understood that. I'm a very transparent person, but I never told you that my girlfriend had 3 DUIs and was going to court. What I actually said is that she had a doctor's appointment. I forgot to tell you that she's got 3 DUIs. She's currently in court and that she's on a house arrest. But you don't need to know all that because I'm very transparent. Yeah, Gordo was relentless with the memes. He's fucking meme king. He put Eli right in his place. Oh yeah, the meme king was a thing back then. Eli didn't stand a chance per se. Eli didn't stand a chance when it came to memes. Transparent, yeah. Yeah, he's very transparent, remember? You can't see what's really there, Gordo the meme machine. Yeah, Gordo was fucking ace. Fucking ace when it came to memes. I did a meme before that was Coach Chicken, and it was Eli wearing a little coach hat on a chicken, and I called it Coach Chicken when he was too much of a pussy to come up against me. So I made up Coach Chicken, and it was just a chicken in a little coaching hat. Apparently, he didn't appreciate it. Who knew? It's called trolling. I call it being creative, artistic, creating content. Is it trolling? Are memes trolling, or are they a form of creative expression? Is it technically trolling? I believe it's creative expression, but that could just be me. I call it creative expression. I don't call it trolling necessarily. He sees his point of view and nobody else's, pretty much. He's got like what we call blinkers on. It's Eli's way or the highway. NYC Korean was the OG meme machine. I miss the magnificent. Yeah. There's quite a few people that used to meme Eli. It kind of died off. Obviously, Gordo hung up his meme crown and stepped down from the meme king. He'll churn out the occasional meme now, but back then it was just full on trolling. But he deserved every single one we did, you know. GLM made me promise not to bother Eli. I've only ever been to a few chats on his live stream. I mean, you can go where you like, Subhuman. I mean, I trolled Eli for obvious reasons because he's a despicable scum of the earth human being and that he's dangerous to everybody around him. But that's just me. That's my personal opinion. Everybody on YouTube's had different fallouts with Eli over the years. He goes for a ciggy break. I do believe so. I mean, I don't know how he can have such a bad bladder. And is anybody else, okay, is anybody else getting pissed off with him keep dipping in streams? His walking streams now are more of him dipping off the stream than being on. What's with that? What's with the constant, I'll be back in a minute, going off and then coming back again and then going, are we live? Sound check. Are we live? Is the picture fine? He spends more time worrying about whether he's live, how it sounds, than actually fucking talking about the subject. And the fact that he dips, oh God, sometimes 7 or 8 times in a live stream now while he's walking. And he'll go and he'll come back and he'll go, ooh, somebody really important has broken through my protection and has managed to text me. If it's Dawn, for the fuck's sake, bitch, type in the chat. Like, Jesus Christ. Talk in the chat, woman. Whatever you are saying is fucking irrelevant unless it's about the stream right now. It's absolutely irrelevant. Because somebody who prides themselves on a decent stream wouldn't keep fucking dipping. And a 10-15 minute break on a live stream in your studio is fucking ridiculous. Who else does that? You ever seen Tammy go for a 15-minute break in her live stream and go, right, that's it. I'm off to make a coffee, have a fag, have a shit, talk to my cat, and then I'll be back. And dip for 15 minutes. Who dips for that fucking long? Who's sitting there for 15 minutes listening to that fucking music to then come back and hear him have to sound check again? Check the back of YouTube. He's the most boring fucker on YouTube I've ever met. He's so fucking boring. Dawn is likely messaging him, don't forget to get my beers on the way home. Yeah, his dips in the walking streams fuck me off. They really do. Because one thing is certain. Dead air doesn't make a stream. And there's a lot of that in Eli's streams now. 40 minutes late to begin with. And then half the time, he's checking the sound. He's checking the picture. And then you're like, is there a fucking topic? We've been live for a fucking hour. Like, get to the point, Eli. I think Tammy is a great YouTuber. She's really good with videos and is smart too. Well, that's very nice of you, Subhuman. I would hope I'm very smart and a great YouTuber too. I do try to bring you the best Eli ribbing that I can. He's wanking during the breaks in the studio. Possibly. I'm more inclined to think that he's going to talk to Dawn and going, Dawn, was the sound all right? Dawn, was the quality all right? Dawn, do you think I'm doing okay? She's probably rubbing his ego. Or he's waiting behind the scenes to see if someone's going to come in and shit talk him and say, you know what, this is a really wanky stream. Laziness is not a good trait of Coach Eli. For someone that says that he's, you know, such a good YouTuber, but he's always so busy. And we still don't know what he does. He's a busy YouTuber. He's got to run errands. He's got doctor's appointments. But you don't fucking work. So I don't know how it is that you have so little fucking time to stream or so little time to do YouTube stuff when you literally do not do fuck all. I mean, who takes a week to do their housework? It took you 2 days, apparently, to do a carpet. What the fuck were you doing? Stress has him. I think stress does. I remember the days of Eli and the peanut butter. The peanut butter rocking in his kitchen, that his entire life was falling apart. His YouTube career was down the drain. That is some pure gold there. I thought he sells insurance. He sold his insurance book. He doesn't sell it anymore. He still has a license to sell insurance, but he sold his book, as they call it. He's always late. Why? He needs to answer this. He never apologizes for being late. No, he's never apologized for being late. He always says that he's renowned for having technical difficulties. Like, you have no idea how hard it is to set up a live stream on the go. I'm like, Eli, you've been doing this for 6 years. How long does it take you to fucking learn how to do it? And then on top of that, it's technical difficulties. He was running late because, you know, Dawn's got so many appointments, so it's her fault. And then it's traffic or the weather. It's never his fault that they were running errands and he got behind. I don't think he's ever been on time to a stream. I cannot remember a stream where I have sat there and on the stroke of the stream, he's actually fucking on time. Even to Robert's stuff, he's 10, 15, 20 minutes late. And even to the interview with Pedro, he was fucking late. You know, the one thing he wanted in all the world was the interview with Pedro and Hannibal. And he was fucking late to it. Eli has terrible management skills. He's a terrible person, terrible management skills, just terrible in general. Yeah, he blames everyone but himself. Exactly, Jenny. It's never his fault he's late to a stream. You know, traffic, the weather, Dawn's appointments run over. I had to make sure Dawn was fine. You know, and you got people like, you know, Pedro and Hot Facts and everybody else just sitting around waiting for him because he thinks he's the star attraction. And the problem you have is this, is when you set a live stream up and you're like, right, I'm going live at 5 o'clock, okay? And you set a live stream up, people turn up for the fucking time. They turn up at 5 because you know why? Because they expect a live stream to start at 5 and they expect you to get into the topic within the first 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes. You know, welcome everybody, give them a chance to come in, hit the fucking topic at like 15 minutes. Eli is 30 minutes late to a stream, barely apologizes. There's no one in the fucking chat. And then he decides that he's going to talk for an hour on other stuff other than the chat because there is no fucking one there to talk about the topic because they've all fucked off because he was half hour late. They've all gone to the fucking restream because you're 30 minutes late, Eli. And then when he does a stream, a 2-hour stream generally has, I want to be like, maybe 30 minutes of the actual topic. Because he never gets to the topic in the first half of the walk. You ever notice that? Whatever his topic is, don't expect to have it in the first hour. Because that's not happening. Because he's got somebody else to bash for the first hour. And he likes you to wait till the second hour. And then he'll talk about the person that's in the title. So if you turn up at his stream on time and expecting the topic, you're very disappointed. Because he's 30 minutes late. He's not talking about the topic. He couldn't even remember the fucking topic yesterday. Anyone see that? He went live and then asked the audience what his topic was about. How do you not know what your topic is about? But his little brother and aunt are now next in line to manage the family trust, not him. Absolutely. He's a trust fund baby. He's a trust fund baby and probably explains a lot of his personality. Yeah, he has none. He has none. He's a self-entitled, silver-spooned, bald cuck boy. I'm hoping he saw Pedro in my chat and he's going to go, oh, now you've gone to another one of my haters, Pedro. First you went to see Tammy and J-Ron, and now you're going to Raven. She's always hated me, and she's always said bad stuff about me, and she's always telling lies. Pedro came here because he wanted to. I'm not paying Pedro to be in my chat. No one's paying Pedro to come to my chat to talk shit about Eli. Pedro can do that himself. He doesn't need a puppet master telling him what to do like you do, Eli. Hence being on the balls of fucking hot facts. When I do my books, picks, I start a few minutes into my stream. Yeah. On average, if I have a topic like I did today, which was Eli, usually I don't talk about it in the first 15 minutes because YouTube has a habit of not setting the notifications out consistently, and it takes on average 5 or 10 minutes for somebody to know you're live. Like on average 5-10 minutes, like give or take. So I don't generally start the topic of the stream until 15 minutes in. I make sure that if I'm going to do the topic, then there's enough people to hear it. But in Eli's case, he spends an hour talking about something else, but the topic that's actually the topic of the stream gets about 20 minutes. And even then, it's just ramblings. There's no facts. There's no receipts. It's just ramblings of Eli or conspiracies, which he has nothing to back this up. Nothing. You give me any evidence, Eli, that you know for certain that Pedro and Hannibal were paid $10,000. $10,000 to harass you. Give me any evidence of that. He was jealous of Silicone giving people money. Silicone's donated to me multiple times. Does that mean I'm on the payroll because Silicone donated to me? Am I on the payroll? Because Silicone's donated to me quite a few times over the last maybe 6 months. 6 to 8 months maybe. Silicone's donated to me. Does that mean I'm on the payroll? Just because Pedro was given a donation, it doesn't mean you're on the payroll to target Eli. How many of us have targeted Eli for free and never received a penny from anyone? Instead of Eli waiting for his mum to pass away, he could just get a job and earn his own money instead of leeching his family. Well, he could do that, but at the age of 50, I mean, I don't know if Eli's got it in him to do a full work day. I have few people in my stream chatting. I mean, I don't have a lot of people. On average, I might get anywhere between sort of 5 and 15. Some nights I've had more when I talk about Eli. Other times when I've restreamed him, I've had a ton more. I can't restream Eli because he's too much of a fuckboy that flags my channel, or I would. Eli's allergic to real work. He's allergic to everything. Real work, real people, a conscience. What time is what's his face? I didn't check what time the stream was. I have to check what time the stream is my time. I'm gonna have to go to that channel again. I don't want to click on it. Hot facts. I want to see what time the stream is because boy, I don't want to miss it. 2 hours, so 6 o'clock my time. Okay, 6 o'clock my time. Yeah, allergic to real work. He's allergic to everything. This person's got more cooties than you know. But he claims, he's a successful entrepreneur, that he's got other sidelines, that he's not short of cash. But he did raise a fund for his family reunion, which no one donated to. No one donated to that, did they, Eli? If you were going to see Dawn's family, it was off your own back, mate, because you burnt too many bridges for anyone to fucking donate to that shit. And going off on your birthday stream, oh, I can't wait for that. I cannot wait to restream you on your birthday, Eli. The joy I will get out of that, because I'm not fucking working that day. So you're fair game, Eli. I'm hoping it'll be at a time I can restream him. I'm hoping so. If not, I'm gonna fucking stay up for it. I need to stay up for this stream. That is a stream you don't want to miss, because if no one donates the same as they did last year, oh, he gonna be fucking angry. Okay, I've not had many donations today. Bodacious donated. I had to donate behind the scenes. I'm not too bothered necessarily about getting donations when I talk about Eli, but he is. Oh, he wants some money, money, money. I did a live stream for my birthday. I didn't earn very much, but I didn't go on a tyrant threatening people and going, well, if you don't donate to my birthday, I'm going to quit YouTube. What kind of fucking child mentality is that? I'm going to quit YouTube. You're all mean. Yes, we're all mean. Jesus Christ. Definitely allergic to work. To be fair, I think he's allergic to people. Eli just cannot find a demographic that fits in with his coaching. Men, women, Americans, British. He just can't find a demographic that suits him. Any job out there, he wants top spot and not starting from the bottom. Yeah, he literally wants to run a company. The thought of Eli sweeping or packing bags at Target or something, it's just not him. He wants managerial positions where he orders other people around and doesn't do fuck all. You know, that's his kind of mentality. He literally wants to do no work, but get all the praise for it and get all the money for it. Which is kind of sad that he thinks that much of himself, because no one's donating to him. Okay, I haven't had a lot of donations recently. I haven't live streamed recently. As they say, you can't make money if you don't put the work in. That's one of Eli's downfalls. If you don't put the work in, you're not getting the money for it. And because I haven't obviously restreamed Eli, and I haven't done topics on Eli, and I've barely streamed about Eli at all, I haven't been making the money. As I said earlier, I've made £100 this month, which I will get at the end of the month. Is that less than usual? Yes. Usually I make £300-400 a month on average. But that's because I haven't talked about Eli. I haven't restreamed him. I haven't done Eli topics. I've generally kept away from Eli, which quite a few people were sad about, because they used to love the roasting I did of Eli, especially on my restreams. Boy, would he get some ripping. But I've done it for so long, and Tammy started restreaming him, and I kind of took a step back, and then J-Ron was restreaming him, Sarah was restreaming him, Susie was even restreaming him at one point. So though it became like, what's the word you could call it, a saturated thing that everybody was restreaming him, and it was fighting to have people at your stream rather than somebody else's. So it just made it easier to just step back, because I have had my channel flagged twice by Eli. Yes, I've been reinstated both times, because his flagging is just, it literally takes me out of the game for a month and then I come back. Whether I could get away with restreaming him and not being flagged, I don't know. I don't know whether he'd flag me or not, because he always said that any publicity is good publicity, good, bad, or indifferent. And for about 3 years, give or take, I had permission to restream him. The oldies or the OGs of the Raven crew will know I had 3 years worth of permission to restream him. At one point, I was the only one permitted to restream him. Not even Lycan wasn't permitted to restream him at one point. It was only me at one point. I don't know why, but it was literally me at one point that had permission. And then for some reason, because I started doing well and I started getting 100, 200, 300 pound donations a stream, which is kind of the rate that Lycan was getting as well. He was making like 250 a stream, and the same when JB did it. We all made bank basically. Eli put a stop to me restreaming him because once again, Green-Eyed Monster reared its ugly head, and because I was making more than Eli, he wasn't liking it. So he took the permission away for me to restream him, and then said if I kept restreaming him, he was going to flag my channel. The irony, huh? Can you have multiple channels like 10 or 20 and restream on one of them, and then when he flags it, you just restream on the next? It is possible to do it like that. There are some channels out there that have restreamed him on one channel, and then when they found that channel, you dip to a second one and you just have a backup channel to be able to do it on. You jump from channel to channel. That used to happen back in the day, but we got clever. We got clever with our streams, because if you do it unlisted, unless you've got some snake in the grass that will give out your unlisted stream, it's very rare that they can find it. Very rare. So if you can do it, we used to do it live. Both me and Sarah and Lycan, Wisdom, and a few others used to stream him live. And obviously I got flagged. So did a bunch of other people. And it came to a point where you could then do them unlisted, which you couldn't do from the start. But now you can unlist a stream, and unless you've got some, like I said, snake in the grass that's going to rat you out and give that link to Eli, you could restream him indefinitely and they wouldn't find you. Which is what we turned to. We turned to restreaming Eli unlisted, because you could go under the radar and he couldn't flag you. He could do nothing. You do have to do it unlisted, and then for your own sake, I would take it off your channel. I used to restream him and then private them, but you can also get into trouble for having them on private. So what we do now is if you unlist stream him, the best option for you is then to delete it entirely. Take it off your channel. Give him literally no chance of being able to flag you, basically, is the way to go. But back in the day, people would restream him on multiple channels. There were loads of them. Everyone and their grandma was restreaming him. But it comes to a point where everybody was trying to restream him. So all of his audience just disappeared. You'd have some in Lycan's, some were over at Sarah's. If I was doing a live stream first, people would be at mine. And then if Jamie caught wind that Lycan was live, some of them would go over there. So some nights you'd have 2 or 3 restreams of him. And you would just pick where you went, or it would depend who'd get to live stream first. Or if Sarah or Lycan couldn't restream, I'd do it. And we'd take turns in doing it, basically. Susie's restreamed him before. Paul's restreamed him before. Tammy's obviously restreamed him. A lot of people have restreamed him. People have come and go from restreaming him. I've chosen not to restream him currently because I want the money that YouTube has got. And I couldn't suddenly just have my channel flagged and lose it. But maybe after this month's money, maybe I would restream him again. I'd probably do it unlisted because I still don't trust him. He could turn around tomorrow and say, Raven, I give you permission again to restream me, I wouldn't take that as Bible at all. I wouldn't trust him. Because, you know, Sarah restreams him, Lycan does on occasion, Susie does it. There's nothing stopping him flagging your channels, even if he says he gives you permission. Because as he said, and I quote, he can take the permission to restream him at any point, and that's where he gets you. You can restream him, but he also can stop you restreaming at any point that he so chooses. So you're kind of stuck between him restreaming, you restreaming him and it being okay, and then him turning around and saying, no, I'm not happy with you restreaming. You see what I mean? With unlisted, Eli will realize there's restreams by the numbers in his stream. Yeah, he knows there's unlisted ones, but he can't find them because we have quite, I want to say, a close-knit community. We do have people that have each other's backs. And we do keep the restreams to a select amount of people because obviously we know Eli is shady. We know that he tries to get in people's discords. We know he tries to get in people's streams. He wants to know if, when, and how, and what you're saying every minute of every hour of every day about him because he's such a misogynist. He cares so much. For someone that says that shit doesn't bother him, oh, it bothers him. He is highly fucking triggered. Literally lives on a triggered edge constantly. Everything is triggering to him. And I mean that's a way to live, I guess. I personally couldn't live like that, you know. Every other 5 minutes I'm triggered. For me, that's not a way to live, but you know. But every time he says, you know, I'm not triggered, I'm passionate, it doesn't bother me. Why the fuck are you making like 8 streams on it then? If a topic doesn't bother you, do you talk about it for 8 streams, or do you put your big boy panties on and get the fucking message? I mean, Eli does have a way of you know, it's he's very two-faced, you know. He'll tell you it's fine to restream him, and then he'll flag your channel. And then he'll tell it's all right for you to talk about him, and then he'll flag you for something else. If Eli didn't ban every chat of the stream, may not be as needed. Yeah. If I think originally, here's the real reason. Originally, no one restreamed Eli. We'd go to his chats and we'd chat. But as time rolled on, Eli started banning everyone. And I mean everyone. If you came in there and you were like, even if you came in there and said hi, just put hi in his chat. And he would turn around and go, where are you from? Are you from JB's? Are you from Lycans? Are you from the other side? And he literally Spanish Inquisised you and basically want to know if, when, how, and why within seconds of you being in that stream. And then if you didn't give him the right answers, you're banned. Then it turns out if you were friends with Lycan, you were also banned. If you were saying in JB's chat, you were banned. If you were seen talking in a chat that he didn't approve of, you were banned. If you said a bad word about him in another stream, you were banned. It was constant banning. Then when things got really bad, people started coming in there on sock accounts because they were banned. because they couldn't chat, people were making sock accounts, and his chat was just flooded with them. And then he was banning every sock account. And at that point, it kind of got a bit annoying that not only could you not talk in there, when you then went on a sock account, you were then banned as well. And there, my friends, comes the restreams. Because if you couldn't talk in his chat, and you couldn't put a sock account to talk in his chat, then you couldn't chat about what he was talking about, which is kind of boring watching a stream if you then can't type or question or give an opinion. So people started restreaming him so they could have an opinion, have their say, be a part of a community and talk about him. And the restream was born. And then ever since then, JB used to restream him, Lycan used to restream him, Sarah did it, Susie at one point was restreaming him, I've restreamed him, Wisdom restreamed him, Paul's restreamed him, obviously Tammy's done it, J-Rom's done it, who else has restreamed him? Over the years, the baton's been passed from person to person to restream him, because we have always defended that if you cannot talk in the chat of a stream you are watching, there is no point watching that stream in that place. We have told Eli time and time again, and we will reiterate this. If he just unblocked everybody, he would have watch hours through the roof. He would have unbelievable amounts of chat going on. And it may even make a channel worthy of actually people turning into to watch. But Eli abuses everything that YouTube has to offer. He has, I believe, last time I was told, 4,000 people blocked. And at least 2,000 of them must be sock accounts. Eli abuses the ban feature. YouTube needs to punish him like that. He should not be allowed to do that. He prides himself on, what is it, freedom of speech and being able to state your opinions and everything and being open to opinions, but you can't talk in his chat. I think Eli made some diplomatic errors in his coaching, because he has expressed his visceral hate of Trump, and it's not accepted to hate Trump for about 40% of Americans, but most people don't like Biden, not even Democrats. Eli's political views, I mean, he's quite clearly a fucking leftist snowflake, if ever I saw one. I don't know much about the political world in America. It's not really my section of YouTube. But you can quite clearly tell that he's a leftist snowflake. He's like snowflake through and through. Oh, I'm a little bit from the left and a little bit from the right, but I don't want to choose a side, because if I had to choose a side, then I'd have to pick fights with other people, and I'd rather be in the middle. That's the only problem with Eli. He doesn't pick a left or a right. He's a middler. He's a middle person. That means he's not left, he's not right, and basically, if there's a political debate, he's in the middle. That means people can't target him for being one way or being the other, because he always liked to, what's the word? He liked to pander towards JB, because JB is obviously not a lefty. JB has very, very defined Trump supporter. And Eli obviously, aspired to JB and wanted to be somewhat, I'm a right and a left. I'm in the middle. Just so he can't pick fights with people, or just so people can't pick fights with him, because he's neither one or all, which is kind of a pussy move because most people are one or the other. But he's a definite pussy. Definite pussy. A grown man would pick one or the other. They wouldn't be, oh, I'm in the middle because, I like some from the left and I like some from the right. No, a real grown man would pick one. They pick left or right because they got balls, Eli. Something you're like lacking, mainly, lacking that cojones. But, what are you going to do, huh? Eli lacks the cojones of a real man. Surprising, that. But, this thing with hot facts this evening, it's either going to go two ways for Eli. It's going to make him look terrible, or it's going to make him look absolutely terrible, because there is no way to come out of this looking good. It's a shitty topic, targeting somebody in a roundabout way, however Eli wants to put it, and it's just sad that he has to stoop to such a level to make what point exactly? But I'm going to assume that, it's not going to go well. It's going to be a very boring topic because Eli's never had kids and he really doesn't have much to say on the topic. He's a very dulled, one-sided fucking person. So in my eyes, whatever Hot Facts says, he's going to agree with him just outright. If Hot Facts says, yeah, everyone wants money, that's why they have lots of kids, and Eli's going to go, absolutely. He literally kisses the arse of Hot Facts. Which is sad, really. It's sad that Eli can't have, his own opinions. Because every time JB said something, Eli would just agree with him. Just because he aspired to be JB. But this is Eli. He has no morals. He has no ethics. This is just really sad, below the belt fucking content. Even for Eli. It's scraping the bottom of the content barrel. Because he doesn't have kids. He doesn't know anything about fostering. I bet he doesn't even know the fostering system. I bet he's had to fucking Google it. I bet he's done no research, no nothing. And it's a very strange topic to talk about fostering for two fully grown men who are supposedly in the gig economy, which would be more fitting of a topic. But no, they want to talk about fostering children to a guy that's never had kids or fostered children. His podcast doesn't really have a streamlined anything. Their topics are just so fucking over the place. I thought, and here's the crazy thing, I thought the podcast that they were doing was going to be about the gig world. And currently it's just on about shitting on other people on the internet. Who knew? Who knew the podcast would take such a turn from talking about the gig economy? Yeah, okay, ragging on a couple of people, Flex and cherry picking and all that. Got little digs in here and there from Eli. But it was mainly I don't want to say harmless, but they were still in the gig economy. So I guess you could call them fair game when it comes to topics. But now they're just doing really random fucking topics. What? Because the gig economy is boring? Because Eli's not actually in the gig economy, so he doesn't actually have anything to talk about? That could be it. Or is it the fact that these two people are just that fucking boring that they can't think of a topic that would actually pose an intellectual conversation? The modern GOP isn't even truly right-wing. The Dems just keep going further far left, then pointing at the GOP and calling them far-right fascists. Because fascism is associated with smaller gov. Yeah, I like I said, unfortunately, Red Paul, I don't know much about your political ways over there. I don't really know much about it. I do know that Eli's a pussy for not choosing a side, because only a wimp would be in the middle. Eli thinks 100 of the Fosters are in it for the money, probably. But like I said earlier, obviously you guys missed the first part of the show because I've been live streaming for 3 hours. The fact that Eli would make comments on foster kids and all of that, it's a strange topic for him, because it would have been nice, you know, of Eli just to like keep his opinions to himself. But that's just me. I would rather Eli didn't talk on the topic at all. But that's the modern world for you. Eli likes to put his opinions out there, but then when the opinions are directed at him, it's entirely different. You know, he's very what's the word? Very two-faced, which it is typical Eli. You know, it's all right for someone to have the mitt taken out of them, but then when it's, you know, put on him, it's entirely different. But I think this topic is a step too far. Only 40%. Trump's popularity has done nothing but skyrocket since the stolen 22 election. Yeah. I mean, Eli's too much of a pussy to, like, you know, pick a topic himself. At the minute, he just seems to be Reese's bitch boy. Whatever Reese says goes, which is a bit like, you know, Eli's the puppet and Reese is the puppet master, the same as he used to say that, you know, Jamie was the puppet master and Sarah was the puppet, or vice versa. He's always got an opinion on something, and now fostering kids he's got an opinion on. I'm not so sure about that one. But we will see when Eli goes live with Hot Facts with Robert Reese just how low Eli is willing to stoop. And I get that he's willing to stoop. Like, stoop. But I've been live for 3 hours and 20 minutes. Thank you to everybody that has participated. If you've donated, thank you to anyone that's donated as well. If you want to donate, the link to the PayPal is pinned. Thank you to Bodacious earlier that donated. Thank you to the behind the scenes donator that gave me a donation to myself for my Christmas present, a little early Christmas present there for me, which I am to spend on myself. I'm not sure how many of percentage, but there are some shady foster carers and there are ones that do really care. There are some foster carers out there that only care about money.
That is true. There are some nasty foster carers out there that will treat the kid like shit, malnourish them, and not eat them just to have the money. But that is a percentage of foster carers. There are the other foster carers that literally pride themselves on looking after that child like they're their own. Yeah, anyone who doubts it was stolen, there's 1,000 hours, an insurance record, factual, and your head is in the sand. Ooh. So my voice is kind of going, and I was meant to be elsewhere. But if you want to like and subscribe and give us a big thumbs up, I'm sure I will see you guys, not so long from now when Hot Facts goes live. I'm definitely going to be in the chat for that one because I have kids. I'm not fostered my kids. They are my biological children. But I do not believe Eli has the right to talk on this subject because he doesn't have kids. He's never fostered a child. He couldn't possibly know what it's like. So for that, it just pisses me off. It's another topic he knows nothing about, but it's going to talk on it anyway. And talk on it with hot facts, because without hot facts, Eli doesn't have any content currently. So thank God we've got Reese, because if not, we just have to put up with Eli's normal boring content. Instead, we're just putting up with the fact that Eli's just making himself look more stupid with every day that passes. So if you want to like and subscribe and give us a big thumbs up, I'm sure I will see you in the run up to Christmas. Whether I'm going to live stream at any point, I don't know. I have got some extra work that I have picked up to make some more money. So for everyone that's worried that I am starving, I have half sorted myself out. I have been to the food bank. I've been to the community fridge. I've had some donations behind the scene. I am effectively being looked after. So anyone that was worrying or concerned about me, the car accident is getting better. It still hurts. It's still niggling. I'm still on light duties for at least another week at work. But it is starting to make progress. If you want to like and subscribe and give it a big thumbs up, if you want to share this out, I am going to keep it live. I'm not going to hide away and shy away like Eli would like, because unfortunately, I don't care what he thinks. And I will see you all very soon for another live stream. And once again, fuck you, Eli. Bye, guys.